Welcome to the Podverse on a Monday night. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, live from the basement. I'm your host, the man 50 grand, the military with a microphone, mouthpiece of the movement, aka the unwhippable alpha male, aka the Negro Whisperer. I'm in the building with my Outlaw family, man. I'm happy to be here tonight, man. Y'all give it up for Outlaw Radio. Took our little time off to get recharged and get reset. But I'm not alone. Mr. Witch Doctor, what's popping with you?
Peace. How everybody doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely gonna walk that walk. Raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor, your holistic health and wellness coach, Mr. Kamar Carter. Peace to the family. It was good.
Man, it's all good, man. It's all good. We always trying to do something positive. We always trying to enlighten you and entertain you at the same time because I know black people like to laugh and have a good time and party and that kind of thing. But you can do some learning and you can do some educating, but you can also do some enlightenment and entertainment. So welcome to the show. I got the hippie with me. I got the ghetto hippie. Now I got the ghetto witch doctor and the ghetto hippie. What's popping, real?
Hey man, blessed to be here, man. I was checking out my strawberries a little earlier. They starting to come in, so looking forward to that homemade strawberry lemonade.
Yeah.
And I got a bone to pick with both of y'all because y'all trying to stun on me with y'all little gardens. You know what I'm saying? Putting up little videos, all of
You gotta come on in, man.
Right.
Come on in.
Hey man, see, I done already done that a long time ago. I got to get my shit back, but y'all trying to stun on me a little bit. No, shout out to y'all, man, for the garden, man. That's what's up, man. It's a beautiful thing, and I think it's something, after you undergo the maturation process of masculinity, you start to understand the beauty of life. So you start to like kids, and you start to like gardening and watching the birds and watching the animals. You start to really dig life. So shout out to y'all, and you gotta love to eat good too. So that's
right.
Shout out to Byron Terry. He said, "I'm always supporting, but watching and listening, waiting." Oh, I think he said watching and listening. Now, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, BT. Welcome to the show. I see Rock in there too. We man, it's all love, B. You already know. I'm damn near honorary Terry. Man, that rhymed. Much love to the Terry family. I got to shout out Ghetto, man. Me and Ghetto, or I should say Ghetto and I, if I'm gonna be grammatically correct. Man, we got out this weekend, and rest in peace to the homie Marky. If you know, right? If you're from my neighborhood, you know all about that scenario and that situation. And Sean Moore as well, because we got together and we have decided to produce a documentary about Eric Bernard Adway and the lack of justice for Eric Adway. And so Sean and I and Ghetto, we got together, man. After Marky's funeral, I had so many people at Benjamin Franklin, or I should say we had at least 70 individuals, old school, original cats. Once again, if you know, you know. If you're from Capital on my side, on Atkinson on my side, where we from, you already know what this is about. Cats who been in this thing for 45, 50 years, who really knew the brother Eric Adway. And we did our first footage, man. We got our first footage done. We got a lot more parts to go, but it went down, man. And I really got to get some insight on who the brother was and why his legacy has resonated still to this day. With 35 years after he passed, it's and that's coming, and it's gonna be very well done. Ghetto was on point as usual. That's why I fucks with Ghetto, man, on the video. He do all my video intros. Anytime we're gonna do anything, interviews, like recorded interviews, Ghetto is always up top, man. So that's my man. I gotta shout him out though. It was a beautiful experience though, man. And I think my family, the organization that I came up with, we haven't gotten together like that. We don't tend to get together in that fashion. And so it was the first time that it happened, but it was beautiful, man. Cats popped out drinks and smoke, and only thing I was waiting on was a grill, right? But it was beautiful, man. I seen cats who I hadn't seen in years. And that's the first time Outlaw Radio has been mobile in a very long time, right? Like everybody was looking at me like, why you got a cane? I had to explain I had back surgery like 9 different times because my family, my fellas ain't used to seeing me like that. It's like, Kev, what's going on? I'm like, dude, just relax. I had a back surgery. This is actually a step up from where I've been. So the fact that I'm outside the house was a blessing, man. But shout out to Sean Moore and Ghetto, man. Justice for Eric Adway. Justice for Eric Adway. Justice for Eric Adway. Justice for Eric Adway. I had to say it 4 times. Once again, if you know, you know. But welcome to the show, man. Outlaw Radio, man. On Monday night, I feel good, man. We be off, man, and I see everybody else doing shows. I be getting kind of salty, like, man, why should pop my shit on? Oh, and shout out to St. Cour and the homie Che from Frontline Black News because they did do a Ancestors Day weekend marathon, and I got down with them on Friday night, man. Went on there, popped my shit. It was a beautiful conversation with the brothers on there as well. They out of California and out of Denver, respectfully. So, man, once again, man, I had big things going on, man. It's Outlaw Radio. We ain't gonna sit still forever, right? Right. And somebody once told me the problem is everybody wants to take find the elevator to success, but there is no elevator. You got to take the stairs. So yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who supports, man. Y'all got anybody? Since we giving up love, y'all got somebody y'all want to shout out who has something to do with the beautification of your weekend or something? Just who y'all want to shout out, man?
Shout out to the Coogee Chocolate Co-op. Shout out to Honeybee Sage. Shout out to Triple B Cafe. I was just vending up there. That's the vegan restaurant over on 54th or 45th and North Avenue where you pay what you got. You know what I'm saying? Who said vegans don't care? You know what I mean? You come on up there 45th and North and pay what you got. Come on and eat good. But yeah, that's where I was at this weekend.
What about you, Rail? What you got going?
Man, I was just in the yard this weekend, just trying to get everything cleaned up, weed whack and all that stuff there. I guess shout out to everybody that fuck with me. Everybody that purchased my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope. Everybody that purchased my gratitude journal, the Multidimensional Mindset Gratitude Journal, both of them on Amazon. I've been getting a lot of feedback though. There's a lot of people feeling it, and it's just a blessing to be able to positively impact so many people.
Man, shout out to Ace Cooley. Man, that's my partner who I've known for a very long time. Share the show, y'all. Like if you ain't gonna hit the Cash App, share the show, right? Comment, call in. The number's 262-202-5131. Outlaw Radio on a Monday night. The Negro Whisperer is in the building. And I want to say congratulations to you about your book. And I hope that you're getting people who are seeing you, not because I want the credit, but I hope you getting people who seeing you and getting your book and they're starting to familiarize themselves with you. Because the one thing people got to understand about our show is I don't choose the people who are on this show. The show chooses them, right? Because I've had literally hundreds of guests, but the very chosen few are asked to stay, right? Like, so normally I already know when because I'm intuitive in that regard. And I, I see through the smoke a lot of times and what people try to put up. So Rail has joined and been a soldier with us, man. If y'all ain't noticed, because a lot of say, okay, who the one nigga, who the nigga with the brain? One time he had the Shirley triple curls and shit. Oh yeah, that's how my guys talk, right? Like all my real friends who I know. Oh, okay, man, watch your shit, cuz you talking that politics shit. So I always tell them, man, that's the homie Rail, man. So people enjoy what you bring to the show. So
I'm glad to hear that.
Man, and Kamar can testify to it. I mean, because he came in, it wasn't even no long term to say, hey, we're gonna come there. It's like, hey, let's do this, let's do boom, it was done. So, like I said, man, the show chooses the outlaws choose themselves, right? Like I don't have to worry about, I need to take application. Have you been on radio before? I don't need to do none of that shit. Natural feeling, right? Your biological fingerprint is what I take and observe, right? Now that sounds fetish. Let me take that. You already know motherfuckers out here right now calling everybody, you a rat, you a rat, you a rat. I'd be like, damn, maybe both of y'all rats. So look, check this out though. Y'all see that that the church, the Christian church, that's what it's called. It's the Christian Church Tabernacle or whatever they are. They gave away free gas at Milwaukee's only black-owned gas station, right? And so a lot of people was able to go up there. Now here's the kicker. Now, and this is why you got to temper your curb your enthusiasm sometimes. They only gave out $5 worth, right? Which I don't like today. I don't even know if that's just gonna get you out the parking lot, but the sentiment was there. And the fact that it was done at Milwaukee's only black-owned gas station, the sister who bought Miss Stowers gas station over there on Ack. Shout out to Atkinson, man. Shout out to Atkinson, right? In the fields where it's real. So but yeah, man, that's a lot going on, man. But I was happy to see that because we always talk about that the church doesn't do this and the church don't do that. And I think the church should do more things like that, right? Like, because if you think about, and I don't like to count nobody motherfucking money, but there's a lot of money. Some of these churches are holding on some bank, right? So, like in times like these, to give out gift cards and food and clothing and stuff like that. And I'm not saying they don't. So if you're with a church or a congregation that does this, hit us up. Let us know. We love to promote what y'all do in the People's News Network and on the People's Network. But I'm saying I feel like they should do more like that in times like these. Like, and I ain't talking about giving away no shit that came from the Hunger Task Force or some used clothes. I'm talking about go spend some of that bread and hand people shit and say, look, come on down and praise with us. Come on down. Because I think people say, well, you don't supposed to buy nobody. It's about servicing the people, though, is what I'm saying. And if people say they're connected in our community and they're doing something that's positive, they'll support it. And I think that will get more people to invest in going back to church. Because a lot of black men right now we know ain't going to church. And that's a serious conversation. Real, you smiling? Why you smiling?
Yeah, I'm just listening, man.
Hey, that's how they got over on Africa too. You know what I mean?
With some gas cards?
They sent the nice Christians in, you know what I mean, bearing gifts and stuff, and then they came back and bamboozled them.
Did they have gifts? I never heard of them having gifts. I heard they just
well, they come in, they send the priests and stuff in with the prayers and everything, so they can ease over the kindness. You know what I mean? Show kindness, and then what they did, they sent the warriors in to come tear the shit up and steal the niggas and shit.
So fuck them gas cards, according to Kamar.
No, I ain't saying that, man. I ain't saying that, man. Anything helps. I'm just talking shit, man. I'm just talking shit.
I had to fuck with you. You know how to fuck with you. But no, Ace Cooley said, was that Daryl Hines Church? No, it wasn't Daryl Hines Church. I am trying to find, because I thought in my talking points I had this. What is this? The Life Changers Christian Church was the name of it. It's fucked up when sometimes you can't read your own handwriting. That just go to show you how bad my handwriting is, because I know they always say people who are really intelligent have bad handwriting. Right. As I pat myself on the back. Welcome to Outlaw Radio, 262-202-5131, man, live from the basement. I feel so fucking good tonight because I get happy to be back on the microphone. Y'all don't understand. Like, damn, what he so happy about? Me and Rakim understand each.
Right.
Man, I wish I could get on the motherfucker. I'm gonna have to start carrying me a one around in my pocket so I can just pull it out sometimes and hold it.
You gotta make sure you have a 4-finger ring for the hand that you hold it with. You know what I'm saying?
Be careful, Rail, because Kamar, tell them about the jewelry era. Tell them about the hip hop jewelry era when I would come on with the Kango and the gazelles and the fat gold chain. Look here, I still got my Kango, man.
Okay, yeah.
I used to come in on full hip hop mode, man. I used to have my little glasses, man, my little gazelles, everything. Listen, it was a whole era. I think people thought I looked like Humpty Hump because I had my little chains on and shit. Back in the day. Look, I still got my shit, man. I'm still about that hip hop, man.
Hey, man, do your thing, man.
I just, I built to a crescendo when we had MC Shan on here, and me and him had a Kango off. You know what
okay.
Is? We went back to back with our Kangos and seeing who. I think Shan beat me though, right? Shan had the original Kango he bought in 1986.
Oh man.
Shout out to MC Shan, man. But yeah, man. So they gave away gas cards though. You know what I'm saying? I think 60 people was able to take advantage of it, man. But like Kamar said, man, every little bit helps, man. Because that little $5 worth of gas might have got somebody from A to B when B mattered to A. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
if I could just get here, or get to work one day, or get to go pick up my check, and then boom, you got it. Twos and fews, right? That connect and make so people wouldn't be, oh, they ain't shit, they ain't shit. Meanwhile, they ain't never gave a motherfucker nothing, right? Like, so it's
Right.
always those people who try to criticize and shit. Shout out to Jazzy Tyler too, because she was on Outlaw Nation a few weeks back. And if you know, once again, when I talk about people, if you know them, you know them. If you don't, watch the damn show or then don't say nothing. But shout out to Jazzy. She was on Outlaw Nation with me, and she helped bring the Wisconsin Fest with T-Pain and a bunch of other artists to the city over the weekend. It looked like it was a rousing success, and they gave T-Pain a proclamation to the city.
Yeah.
Who did?
This did, I guess, through because she's once again Jazzy.
No, I said who gave him a proclamation to the city? How do you get a proclamation to the city?
I can't explain the process, right? I don't know because I don't know who to call, but I know
like, was the mayor there? Like, do the mayor gotta have something to do with it?
he has
Who
to
has
sign
something
off
to do
on
with
it.
that?
He has to sign off on it. It's a city hall thing. It's a recognition by the city for something. Similar to what the keys, people say give keys to the city type shit. And we know we don't want to do that no more because when Boosie got the keys, niggas wanted to fight. Boosie has the keys. But no, Jazzy helped put that together. And the thing about it is T-Pain actually expressed that he has a lot of love for the city of Milwaukee. And he said it's one of his favorite places to be because of how much love he gets from the city. I'm trying to tell y'all right now, this is one of the things that I discussed with some of the brothers when we was at the at Franklin for the beginning of our documentary. This is something that happened in our city, right? Like if you from Milwaukee and you think that it ain't been some real dudes here that was about whatever, like because everybody want to make, oh, well, it's happy days, it's cows, it's milk, and all that. And I see other cities put on and talk about they street legends and this and that, and people act like we some fuddy duddies. But I'm trying to tell you where the turf where I come up on has a long history of cats who would knock you out before they shoot you. A lot of cats who could go physically with their hands. It was just a trademark of where we was from. And so I'm always proud to be from here. I always say I'm a native North Sidian, man. It's in me. It ain't on me. So anytime somebody shows love for the city and say we appreciate Milwaukee or whatever, I'm like, all right. So I'm not the biggest T-Pain music fan, right? Like, but if he got love for the city, I love back for him, man. But yeah, shout out to Jazzy and congratulations on that, man. Y'all better watch y'all ass too. If y'all hear y'all alarm going off at night, go check because they stealing catalytic converters again, right?
Oh man.
After the catalytic converters, because it's getting warm again, so you can get down on the ground and don't like in the winter. Damn, you can get down on that ground and cut that off. We know some cats who still do it, right? But if you don't know what a catalytic converter is, it's basically the element under your car in which exhaust goes through, and it goes through some filtration process, and it comes out so you can be within certain air standards, or your car can fit, emission standards or whatever. And the thing about the catalytic converter is inside it apparently has gold in it, right? There's an element in it that involves some gold. So, some of our more entrepreneurial individuals who may or may not be chemically dependent, they will always come up with a way to make a little money. So they figure out we'll go saw that off, and they will get under your car and cut it off. And you come jumping out the next morning, don't even know, and wondering why your car is bugging the fuck out, right?
Right.
So, y'all be careful, man. Check for them feet hanging out from under your car, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad. It's sad that that's the way things are, but it is the way they are in the community right now. So you got to be aware. You can't be no square. Now, Kamar, do you keep your vehicle parked within so you can see it from the window if your alarm go off, or you can get to it and say these motherfuckers up under my truck?
I parked my car parked right on a busy street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you do if you go look?
I was parking in the garage, but I told you my other car in the garage, so I park on the street for now.
Oh, okay. All of us ain't got more than one ride. All of us ain't got all that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, hey, how you said I'm blessed by the best?
I guess I'm in between blessings. Then y'all pray for me.
There you go. It's all how you look at it, man. It's all how you look at it. Hey, in between blessings is great too. That would just mean they coming.
Oh yeah,
Right.
no doubt, man. I'd rather think about it being than not thinking about what can happen. I'm more caught up in what
Straight
can.
up.
Right now, but tell me this, both of y'all, what do
Yeah.
you do? You go to the window, you look out the window, and you see some feet hanging from under your car. What do you do?
And what sucks is ain't shit you can do, man.
Right. That's what I was gonna say.
Legally ain't shit you can do.
Okay. Um, I think I might go
Take your
downstairs.
pistol and go beat a motherfucker ass with your hands.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, so my stuff is in my driveway. So if I was to look out and see your feet hanging out, you're actually in effectly on my property, right? So I feel like I can do a little bit more. I got a little bit more maneuverability because you're taking
Your life ain't in danger.
Right.
okay. No, I thought mine was. I was
See, that's what but that's what I be saying though. Like everybody getting these motherfucking concealed carries and shit, but you don't even know the law. I
right.
ain't saying you don't know it, Kev, but I'm just
I hear you.
speaking in general. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers get these
Right.
concealed carries and don't know the law. You still go to jail for murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's put that out there then. We got a bunch of alpha males. Shout out to T.I. Arthur. Outlaw Radio is always a male platform. Let's make that kind of like the question of the night, right? At what point do you grip up on somebody when they are violating your home or your property? What would it take? Now I know people gonna say it's easy if you come in the house, right? But if it's somebody outside the window, outside in your yard, and they shooting, maybe not even at you, or just shooting, bullets are coming through your house. Do you grab your strap and go out there? How do you do this? What governs when you use it?
Well, you don't go looking for nothing. That's common sense.
Right.
Okay. Um, you riding down the street. Somebody fly past you, cut you off. You honk your horn. He slow up, wind down the window. You got the drop on him because you already got it in your hand. Do you show it? Do you bust
Nope.
it? Or do you just hold it?
Is he about to? Is he rolling his window down to shoot or just to talk shit?
You don't know.
Like,
You don't know.
oh man, yeah. It's gonna be
Roll.
pointed at him, but I mean, he ain't gonna see it you know, until I feel like we just from that era that, or at least this is what I was told. Don't pull the shit unless you absolutely have to shoot, because otherwise you just making a motherfucker madder. So you won't even know I got mine until it's too late for you.
Okay.
If I could walk away, if I could fight, well, they even tell you in your CCW class, if you get into a fight with your pistol on you, you have to consider the other person armed, because at any given time in the tussle, he can get a hold of your shit. So, they tell you a lot of that stuff. Conflict de-escalation. I was told that you're going to jail. It's just that if you got all your ducks in a row, determine how long you sitting in there.
I've heard that as well. I've heard be prepared to go anytime you use that firearm and it's a legal firearm, be prepared to go and sit down for some hours and talk.
You're gonna sit down. They're gonna take your gun, and your gun is now, exhibit fucking A. And if he lived and always have the opportunity to appeal or bring it back up, you may never get your gun back, because it's always gonna have to be a part of being an exhibit.
I thought it eventually, once it's no nothing to it, they release it, they give you a strap back.
I was told that if they lived, or if they lived, they always have potential to take it back to court. So there's a good chance they might just keep your shit.
Wow. Shout out to Paris LaShawn. He said, "Good evening, Outlaw Radio."
Good
Brother
evening.
Rumor from Frontline Black News and Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Thanks to Brother Kevin Barnes for participating in the Ancestors Day Marathon we put on last week. I had a good time, man. I had a good time. Shout out to them brothers. I had a good time, man. I love to talk with other intelligent black men who are well versed in life when we can just look at the perspectives that each one of us have and see in which ways we can grow. Like that's always one of the things that I love to do. So shout out to you. Thank y'all for inviting me. T.R. Arthur said, "Drag them in your house, you'll be good." Right?
Put a knife in their hand.
Right, police department type shit, right? Ernest Walker said the only state I know where you can fuck somebody up over your outside property is Texas. Is that
Right.
what the castle doctrine is? That what that's based on, or is that what that's about?
I think
Where
that's more to stand your ground when you can fuck them up just because. But the castle law, we got castle law, but I know they were trying to revisit it and allow us to extend castle law to like our vehicles outside.
okay,
But I don't know if that ever went through.
okay. To Tiarsha's point, I see. That's what I'm saying. If I see you and I see your leg, I know you under my truck cutting my catalytic converter off. I was outside investigating and I accidentally stepped on his ankle. I didn't know I was looking. I did have a bat in my hand and I didn't know. So I accidentally hit him across his shin on accident and it happened to fracture it and smash it into little pieces. But I didn't kill him though. But I called the police. When they got there, he was still laying under the car because he can't get up. And he's had my catalytic converter halfway cut off. Would I still go to jail? I wonder. If it was an accident, I would never do that.
I mean, what
Right.
he got it jacked up on? Can you just kick the shit from under you? I mean,
Accidentally, right? I
right.
didn't know. I tripped over the jack, and it's like, man. See, now I'm calling 911 in a panic, saying, "Oh my God, I just accidentally dropped the jack on somebody with the truck on the jack." Like, I'll be so nervous, I'll probably make some sort of mistake in that regard.
And
I
that's the problem though. Like that's the problem with crime here. Like one of the reasons we can't kind of make crime chill out is because criminals know the law better than us. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I seen a post when them cats was first stealing cars and they were showing how you can steal it with the USB cord.
right.
And even they was in the comments like, so why are you recording it? You can't stop us. If you shoot us, you going to jail. Like I'm like, damn, okay. So they know the law. They like, yeah, you can't do nothing about it. Just call your insurance company. So they ain't deterring crime because the criminals know the law better than us.
There is a sense, and we've approached this topic on the show before on what energy that certain individuals need to be met with in terms of us being regular, citizens out here trying to move about our day when we got these habitual line steppers who exist to kind of violate you all the time. What kind of energy should they be met with? Like, so should because I tell you this, an individual who gets hurt stealing a catalytic converter off somebody's car, you was laying in a driveway and somebody just came out and just had whatever, bow, broke your leg in two places. Would would that individual learn his or her lesson? I said I was opposed to ass whoopings because I feel like it's bad to say the only way you can teach a black man something is to whoop his ass. But I feel like in this case, some lessons need to be taught. Um, individuals who would run you off the road, you driving down the street. I mean, because we've all been in situations where you may have been traveling with your kids or your family or something. Somebody come by you on some reckless shit, and they kind of give you the energy that was your fault, right? Like they want to grip up. So it's like, what kind of energy, and when is it time for us as a community to start saying, no, if I catch you in my house, I'm beating your ass. Yeah, when the police get there, you're gonna be fucked up. If I catch you in my yard stealing my shit, put something on your ass, boy. Right? Like, at what point do we start saying, "No, ain't no, oh, he's just a kid." Well, his little ass learned the lesson tonight. And I'm not saying kill anybody, right? I'm not saying, you see, because we know who's gonna break in your car, right? Like a kid or a dope fiend. You come out the window with an AR and bust 50 times. First of all, you shot up your own goddamn car. And secondly, no piece of stereo equipment or any of that's worth taking a life. But I think there is a learning moment there. There's a teaching moment there, right? Like a couple fingers need to get broken, or maybe some of your toes need to get smashed or something. So every time you look at the scar on your hand, you'll say, shit, this is why I stopped stealing right here. And the motherfuckers called me, man, and beat my ass. Because I thought you was hiding under the car trying to rob me or jump out on my wife or something. I didn't know what was going on, right? I didn't know you was cutting my catalytic converter. So that's all.
Well, we can have all the excuses we want, man, but the law is the law, the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Rittenhouse got off.
Right.
Law, you know what I mean? Like, and that's why I said it's just fucked up. Ain't really shit you can do. You can't go do nothing to a motherfucker because they doing something to your car, and that shit suck, dog. Some of these laws need to be looked at.
Yeah.
And some of us would say, like my sister Tiarsha said, drag him in the house. But what you got to understand is most say you holding him hostage. Like this motherfucker was kidnapping,
Yeah,
trying to
that's
kidnap you. Like,
kidnapping.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's kidnapping.
That turn into kidnap real quick.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's why I said I accidentally tripped. I had the bat in my hand. I was already scared. I was fearing for my life. And it was dark out there. I couldn't see. I heard something. I just swung the bat and it just so happened to smash his kneecap. It was an accident, though. It was an accident.
I mean,
You ain't hearing that accident
I
shit.
think I don't really think somebody who you broke their knee for stealing your catalytic converter is gonna call the cops on you saying, yeah, I was stealing his shit and he fucked me up. I mean, so with that, they might just see, I ain't worried about the law there. I'm more worried about retaliation. If I'm gonna do something to you, like I'm one of them absolute people. Like I'm not just about to. I don't do that lesson shit, man. Because now you know where I live. I don't know where you live. At any time you feeling sour about what I did to you rightfully, you can come back and revisit me. So
Right.
so I never really was big on. I'm not really an aggressive person because when it's time to get aggressive, it's like I just want to deal with you to where I ain't got to worry about you no more. I ain't about to. I taught him a lesson. Yeah, I taught him what how to come for me better next time. No, fuck all that. I just want to get rid of you. So I try not to even tune into that level because that level only gonna get you so many places.
Right. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher of my people, right? I believe in teaching lessons, right? Right. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because I'm aggressive too, right? Like I always tell
You
people,
teach that lesson, you're gonna learn a lesson too.
well, I mean, it's sometimes we all gotta learn.
When the teacher becomes the student.
My mama used to say, "Your ass go in the wagon, come too." I mean, it is what it is. One thing about me is, whatever I done, I'm ready to deal with it, bruh. You understand me? So if it comes down to it, and they say, "Damn, man, you beat this dude up because you caught him in your yard and this kind of thing," but you beat him up. I said, "Motherfucker, he was in my yard," and they say, "But you wasn't supposed to beat him up though." And I say this. Well, whatever the charges that come with that, I'm gonna give me a lawyer and we just gonna go to court. Now I got some charges, right? It is what. Listen, I believe we both need to learn something here, right? We both need to learn something. So, and I'm down to participate. My man said I'm your Huckleberry. I mean, I can't be the most rational person in the situation when this individual ain't being rational.
Right.
Now, to your point, Rail, about the person might come back. Okay, well, because now I'm even more vigilant because this incident happened. So now you probably won't even get as close as the house. Like it's gonna be all kinds of mechanisms in place where you're like, damn, they done cameras and motion lights,
booby traps.
Right, it'll be red dots on your shit when you get out the car. Like, hey man, what? Pull off.
I just don't understand. Like, and this probably gonna sound harsh. That's why I don't really speak on the shit too much. But what lesson you teaching these motherfuckers? They know not to steal. They know not to break into shit. Like to me, that shit is a cancer. That's a character trait that, like, I was always told if you lie, you steal, you kill. So I don't separate that shit.
Okay.
So I look at that all as a character flaw and a character trait. So if a motherfucker's stealing now, in my mind, they just haven't graduated to killing yet. So it's like, it ain't I had to teach them a lesson because they might turn around. No, fuck that. When I hear about grown men, like there was an issue in another state where a dude, he literally tracked down the kids that stole his mama van. And when they was running, he aired them out. And people like, oh man, the no vehicle is worth lives. No, the vehicle may not be worth a life, but how many cars they done stole before? How many cars they would have stole after this shit if they weren't dealt with right then and there? Who could they possibly have killed in a process of stealing some shit had they not been dealt with right there? So I'm kind of absolute when it comes to some shit because I just look at it as an occupational hazard. Well, that's what happens. Everybody don't get the luxury of living through stupid decisions.
Okay, I wanted to answer your question.
Yeah.
Said, what lesson does it teach? Well, see, I don't know that it teaches that individual not to steal again, but I think it teaches them not who not to steal.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like now you know, like nah, don't fuck around with over there, or he can
Well, you're
recognize.
gonna be in prison anyway.
I mean, once again, I might be able to explain it to him. We might be
You're
able
gonna be
to.
in
We might
prison
become
anyway. So what
friends.
difference do it make when he gone?
We might become friends, man. Who knows, man? God works in strange ways, man. But the one thing about it is, he will be able to tell me in prison, like, Kev, I learned not to ever kill.
No, nigga. He gonna be out here fucked up. He gonna be out here still free. You gonna be in jail.
It's all good. Then I'll write a letter and say, you know what I learned? I learned not to do that no more, right? Like either way it go, that's why I said it's a teachable moment. Like, see, the one
Dear
thing,
Kev, thank you for whooping my ass.
Man, listen,
that was the turning point I really needed because my daddy never whooped my ass.
Real, you don't know if this might have forced this person. This might have forced this person to change their life. They might have said, you know what? I had to go through multiple surgeries, so I got off drugs, and then I went to God and I turned my life around. God, like you don't know.
That is beautiful, man.
I mean, come on, man.
Right, I feel you. And that's an awesome way to view it, man.
Once again, I think people need to understand this. And shout out to Dre Day. What's up, Dre Day? Man, shout out to Dre Day. Dre Day rocks with us heavy. I appreciate you, bro. Ewalk the Great always rock with us. He said, y'all speaking from a rational perspective as you should, but it's some people who still handle those bombs and they better know it. Okay, so I wanted to say this. The one thing that a person who is a habitual line stepper could make is assuming that the person that they finna fuck with don't have issues too. I have issues as well.
Right.
This is why I'm crazy. I'm crazy too, motherfucker.
I get all that. I'm just saying, when you go to court, they don't care about none of that shit.
I understand that.
All these excuses, how times are nowadays, how people acted, they don't care about none of that shit.
I understand. I have seen several individuals go to court and have to pay for whatever it is that they've done. I understand the consequences and the repercussions. I have sat through bids with family members. I haven't sat in there, but I know that they went to court or went to jail as a result of something that they did that violated the law or were alleged to do that. What I'm saying is I understand. Like, I won't be the motherfucker in jail talking about, hey, white man got me down, man. Why you there? Why you here? Man, because I caught this motherfucker in my yard and I went outside and fucked him up. And they locked him up for it. Shit, don't you see me sitting here? It is what it is. I can't get in there and be like, damn, Kamar, you should talk me out of it. No, I know exactly what's gonna happen. Yeah. And that's why I'm pleading guilty. I'm gonna throw myself at the
I just feel like at some point, man, you know what I mean, you got an opportunity to make the right decision.
Yeah.
And if you remain calm and peaceful, the right decision gonna come to you. You're gonna receive God's word. In other words.
And if you hadn't had your ass in my yard trying to steal my cattle,
see, now you still talking about them. I'm talking. See, Kevin, the difference with me and you is you focused on the outside. I'm focused on the inside. I'm talking about what's gonna help you remain peaceful.
I said I'd go outside.
I'm talking about what's gonna help you remain out here with your family in a peaceful state. You dig what I'm saying?
My family understand.
You know what I mean? We can make all the excuses. Yeah, I want to fuck my fuck up too for going in my yard and fuck with my car or something. No shit. But the way the law is set up, I got to go to prison if I do something. And I know that. And it just ain't worth it. A lot of shit just ain't worth it to me no more.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Variety is the spice of life.
That's why
I sometimes say you got the right one today.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna be smart. There are some of us out here who ain't really tripping on that.
Yeah, okay, you ain't tripping.
When I say it,
hey, motherfucker gonna trip. Bullshit, not bullshit is nothing. A motherfucker gonna trip when they give you that time.
No, not
trip then,
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Hey, I done heard so many niggas say that time, man, I ain't gonna trip. I just do. And then as soon as that time comes, you okay.
But I know some individuals who got that time and took it and went did it and came
listen,
home.
They just told you they took it. Them niggas
no, I was sitting there. I mean, of course you got to go to jail. You're not gonna get up and do the running man, but you got to understand what happens, man. Listen, one thing about this is I can't be more worried than you are when you violate me. I got to meet you where you at, right? And it's the reason why I choose to live my life the way I do and keep myself out of a lot of shit. And away from a lot of shit, because I'm never worried about what you're gonna do. I'm worried about what I'm gonna do. right? So once it's done, though, it's done. I can't take it back. I can't put your kneecap back together. I can't. It was hard to get the trunk up off of you. I was working trying to get the jack back up. Take it back. So all I'm saying is whatever happens, whatever comes with it, I am the type of person, even if it's a long time. The one thing you'll see me says, damn, I didn't think they was gonna give me 15 years. It is what it is now, right? Like Kev, you can't cry about it. Like that's the way I was raised. So I'm just saying, I refuse to be a victim. And I don't like cliches, but I would always choose being judged by 12 than carried by 6. Right? So that's just the way I operate. And it ain't right. I'm not saying
that situation ain't got nothing to do with being carried by 6 because they ain't threatening your life, nigga.
I
They
felt
just threatening
threatened.
your car.
I felt threatened. You was in my yard. I thought
you never know what the next person got though, and that's what I think about.
But what I'm saying is, he said you'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Right,
well,
right.
You don't know you're gonna be carried by 6 if you don't go out there and do something stupid. You know what I mean?
Know.
If you don't go out there and try something, I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? I'm all about protection. I'm all about protecting myself. And you just asked the question. And what I'm saying is, legally, they ain't hearing none of that shit. So a motherfucker need to think about that before that situation come, because I'm telling you, it ain't nothing sweet when the motherfuckers handing them years out to you.
You better think
nothing sweet. And you start thinking about everything that you lose and everything you ain't gonna see no more, all the people you love the most who you ain't gonna see no more. Man, that shit ain't nothing sweet. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Know that when you take your ass out there.
I'm here to tell you with
with
all that said, the realest thing I can say to you is I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to tell you.
I respect that. Hey,
don't tread on me. I'm not your victim. I'm not your punching bag. I'm not no punk for you to come and take my shit whenever you want to. No, I'm gonna protect what's mine. And if something comes with that, then it comes with it. I am not endorsing killing anyone, but I am endorsing grabbing both of them ankles, dragging that some bitch from under the car, couple kicks, couple stomps, whatever, what have you. And now if he come back and I'm gonna get you for breaking my ribs. Now I do feel like my life is on the line, so now I will lay you down. It is what it is, man. I ain't bullshitting. I ain't faking.
It's just the laws. Is like it honestly feel like it works for the like. I know somebody who they came home while the motherfucker was still in their house. They were scared for their life. The girl grabbed the gun, and because it was out, and the dude, her boyfriend was a felon. When they called the cops and the gun was out, they was trying to charge him because now he's
you can't even supposed to be around a gun.
Exactly. So it was hers, and she got her license and everything for it. It came out while they, trying to make sure this motherfucker ran out. Like, they seen him running down the street with their TV, and he still got arrested. You know what I'm saying? So the law is fucked up, man.
Yeah, it is.
I think that old Negro spiritual say we'll understand it better by and by. Right? And apparently, I'm gonna have a lot of time to read the Bible as well as many other literary works.
Man,
I'm gonna be gone for a very long time, right? Kamar, you know what to do. Look out for my people. Come to drop off some sea moss and shit, man. Some vegetables from your garden. Say y'all good. I already know because my wife told me a long time ago, you went to jail. I wouldn't be waiting on you. You just be gone.
Hey, I was just gonna ask this question. Think about where you at in life right now, right?
Right.
You got homies you still out here in the streets and shit. And you steady giving them good advice, like, bro, you need to do this, dog, you need to do that, man. You need to stop this shit. You need to stop that, stop this, stop that. Now, when they do put themselves in a jam because they didn't want to listen to you, you're not obligated to help.
No way.
I done changed my views. Like, I was one of them fellas like, man, listen, my homie go to jail. I got to be there for him. I got to look out. I got to do this. But you know what I mean? Now I feel like if I'm giving you good advice, man, that's going to keep you out of here, that's how I'm helping.
I'm still going to look out. I'm still going to look out for my, if I can help if one of my partners get caught in jail, I'm going to, especially if he got family and he said, Kev, I need you to help me. I'm going to help him. I'm gonna look out for him because I'm not throwing the baby away with the bathwater. So I'm looking at it like, okay,
hey, his family is different.
Well, if I don't rock where really
The
no other way.
family is different. I'm talking about how niggas go to jail and they want you to look out. Hey man, put some money on your phone so I can call out here and you know what I mean. You know that's what they consider looking out, man. That's what they consider taking. You know what I mean, taking care of them and shit, sending the money and shit. Most niggas ain't worried about their kids when they go to jail, and that's a sad thing because they wasn't worried about them when they was out here. That's why they was doing the shit they did to get put in that motherfucker most of the time.
And so I think that's one of the main things with me is I don't really know no deadbeat loser ass dudes that I associate myself with. So if one of my partners, one of my true partners, one of my family members did get caught in the cross and had to go, he would be concerned with his people. He would be like, Kev, he wouldn't even, because most of us have enough pride as men with each other to say, I'm gonna go and do my bit. I ain't gonna be no work, no bother for nobody. But if my family was struggling and I had to reach out to one of my partners to say, man, I need for you to go look out for my people, I would expect for him to do so, and I would do
Yeah,
the same thing.
man. I'm gonna tell
Unless
you, man.
unless he was in there for rape or child molestation. In that regard, I'd be like, bro, I can't fuck with you.
Hey,
And I
look.
probably go do it for his family anyways. I just wouldn't tell him I did it.
Hey, look. I got motherfuckers who I consider the best homies ever. I called looking for something while I was locked up, nigga. I ain't get shit. You get to a point, I'm gonna tell you, motherfuckers fuck with you in the beginning of your bit and at the end of your bit. You know what
Right.
I mean? It's a point in between when ain't nobody fucking with you. We like to think we got some homies out here that's gonna look out, but then when you make that phone call, oh man, we doing bad out here. It's bad. It's a pandemic. It's bad. It's bad, man. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, Kevin, if we think it's sweet, man, but that shit ain't sweet when you get there.
Well,
Man.
the reason I'm laughing because I know that can be true. But I have now once again we said family. I said family, right? And for me, if you have a certain level of association, your family. I have family members who went and did bits where they were supported through the entire bit. We made sure as family that they were. And it was a network of us. It wasn't just one of us. It was one person who said, man, I sent dude this. Man, I just dropped this on him. I just did that for him. And one of my people who went and did a 15-year bit, he got support all the way through. From the time he went, they moved him out to Texas. They moved him to Oklahoma. Anytime we could put our finger on him wherever he was at, we said, what you need? What you need, cuz? And a lot of times, you know what he would say? I'm good, man. Don't even worry about it. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about it. I got it figured out. You know, because after a while he had a job. He figured out how to get his little money up and do what he needed to do for his what they call them, zoom zooms and wham whams. I think that's what they call them. I never been in there, but I think that's what they call them. But so yeah, I mean, I once again, we keep saying there's levels to this shit, right? Depending on where you standing at, depending on your understanding. I know some cats who done went in there and came out and said, Kevin, I don't care what the fuck it is. I am never going back in there. I will never go and you will never understand because you ain't never been in there. I get that too. What I'm saying to you
Them are
is,
smart niggas.
I'm saying to you, but at the same time, them dudes, if certain shit happened, them motherfuckers would be right back on the back of the paddy wagon on their way back. Some of them went back 2 months later. So
Well, yeah, it's certain shit that'll make us all go. Like I said, I ain't no punk either. I'm gonna protect my family. You dig what
right,
I'm saying? But also ain't gonna do nothing stupid that's gonna get me taken away from my family when it shouldn't have.
stupid is as stupid does. I've been waiting to say that shit to somebody forever. That's like the first time I ever got to say that to somebody. That was some fly shit, man. I gotta give myself one for that. You see how I said it in my Cola's Clint Eastwood voice too. Stupid is as stupid does. Okay, let's get into some serious shit. I pulled this article. I asked for this. We asked for this as people. Share the show because I want people to hear this, and I would love to hear what y'all think about this. Right? We asked about transparency in the community a couple weeks ago. We asked about the announcement of some sort of initiative to deal with crime. We asked to be updated on what the actual issue was in the police force, to the point where we're dealing with these elevated crime levels, right? And the Journal Sentinel has an article that's in the People's News Network, and it says facing more homicides, ghost guns, and reckless driving, Milwaukee police call on community to step up, right? And what they're saying is that they have lost the equivalent of, I believe, 300 officers over the last few years, because of whatever retirement or officers resigning and this kind of thing. So in essence, they're fighting uh more more crime, and they have less police on the street. And they said, wow, the homicides we know are triple. Other kinds of rape, the rate has dropped, right? Rape, homicide, those kinds of things. So they've come up with a plan, right? They've come up with some sort of initiative. Now I have my criticism of this, and we're gonna talk about it, but I just want to get this in. They have they've lost so many cops. So what they've said is that they want to come back now, and they want to have the community get involved. So they're going to have a bunch of community forums. They're going to announce some community policing policies. We talked about community policing, okay? And so this is what they're supposedly at, and they're talking about how difficult it is to track, because we know a lot of the guns that are on the street that are utilizing crime were not obtained legally. And we've said many times, like, you can come up with a lot of gun legislation, but the fact of the matter is the people who have these guns ain't gonna follow the law anyways, right? That's why I said it didn't matter to do a curfew, um, because the people who do crimes ain't looking for the curfew. They ain't even say
Nah,
we
they
can
not.
fuck these niggas up, but it's 10:50, dog. We gotta go in the house. Like, it's not gonna happen. So the exact things they said, since 2000, the police force has shrunk by 19% for sworn officers, and that represents a drop of more than 300 positions, right? But at the same time, the call volumes have increased by 5% from 2019 to 220 to 2021, resulting in longer response times. The average response time for emergency calls jumped at least 1 minute per year after 2019, with an average of 8 minutes and 48 seconds to an average of 8 minutes and 48 seconds in 2021. So what they're saying is their clearance rates have taken a hit because they don't have enough officers. And they're saying that these positions range from positions that investigate low-level offenses and engage in community relations, records management, and the department's entire forensics division. So they want to start a community intervention task force. Well, they're already involved with that, right? And they're saying that there's a nonprofit agency called a Law Enforcement Action Partnership, and they've already issued a preliminary analysis showing 22% of police officers calls could be handled by counselors, social workers, paramedics, or credible messengers rather than police. So they want people to get involved with becoming police auxiliaries, enroll in robbery deterrence classes. The department they already provide classes to educate businesses on ways to prevent robbery victimization. So that goes to those ass whoopings. I'm kidding. That ain't what they said. I put that in there. I was trying to make myself look good. And so they have a plan now to make driver's ed mandatory and free in MPS. So we take the driver's ed thing, we take these supposedly community-based community policing initiative, and I want to pull some more information about what they want to do about the community thing. They still talking about they got to deal with car theft. They said they want to hire former law enforcement professionals in a civilian capacity to assist with investigations and improve clearance rates. I'm looking for the part where they talked about having these community forums where they would take people and get them together and take their ideas on what they think should be done in their community. He said they're also working with a range of organizations, including the Milwaukee Bucks, the Running Rebels, and Safe and Sound, to create a mentorship program for youth involved in reckless driving and increase access to driver's education. Um, Car theft is one of the biggest problems that we're facing right now. So they said they wanted to do that. They also said the police have allocated money from the American Rescue Plan Act to fund reckless driving enforcement on overtime, purchase additional vehicles, and upgrade other equipment. Now, it says they also announced a new deployment strategy targeting the use of dirt bikes and all-terrain vehicles on the south side. Okay, so but we talked about some money from the COVID funding being allocated to purchase the equipment necessary that could aid you in some of the reckless driving type shit. We talked about that. I don't know if y'all remember that. And I said there's technology out there that can be purchased where you can set up checkpoints. There's vehicles that are they're specifically designed to stop this kind of thing. So What y'all think about the drop in staff, the increase in crime, and the need for community policing? I know that's a lot, man, but I just want to get your thoughts
I mean, you know what? I don't know, cause well, I do know, but they talking about having like the community help and shit. I just think about like we had neighborhood watches and things like that. It was even that one dude. I think I don't know if he in jail now or what, but that one dude that was helping recover cars that was stolen, and and then eventually some shit happened with him where he was facing some legal trouble. So I is I'm at a loss for how we can deter this shit. Like even with the mandatory driver's ed, on one side it's cool because I remember we had the option when I was in high school, but on the other side I'm like, man, these kids 12 and 13, they're not even in high school yet to get driver's ed. They gonna been done drove cars before they even get in the driver's ed because the age group is so young that's out here.
on. Okay. What you think, Kamar?
Well, I think it's a apply to get more money for the police department again. You know what I mean? Apply to you know what I mean, like the underlay for the overplay. With driver's ed, I feel like they should bring it back. I mean, because it's a lot of basic rules of the streets that you would learn in classes and shit. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That people ain't learning at all. You know
right,
what I mean? Now, so I think it'll help. That's just one of the things that'll help. It's a lot of shit that I think they're gonna have to do, but there's no one thing that's gonna fix all. You know what I'm saying?
right,
Yeah, and we operate with that understanding that it's not like one thing that you're gonna be able to implement that's gonna fix everything. But like I said, I spoke to the need for transparency. I needed for them to get to work. Kamar and I did a show last Wednesday for Outlaw Radio called "Hurry Up and Wait." And we talked about every time Black people start talking about what's required or what we need to be done in our community, we're told to hold on and wait. Hold on, it'll be calm. It'll be there. Just wait. Hold on. It's like when if I call the police and say it's a dude laying under my car stealing my catalytic converter, he said, "Well, just wait. We'll be there." I threw that in there too. I'm winning that argument. I'm winning that argument, Kamar. Fuck the bullshit. I'm winning that one.
It ain't no argument for me.
All right. I'm see. That's
'Cause
what I
I
said.
can
I got
see
it.
it ain't no argument for me because see, I'm gonna do like I just said. I'm gonna take my time and make the right decision
Right.
before I go out there and send myself to prison.
Right. I hope God bless me with some good sense. I hope he do. I hope he does. But he ain't gave it to me yet, so I don't know how much longer I got to get it. Um, but no, back to this. Community policing is something that I do believe is something that needs to be invested upon, up that and needs to be invested in. But the thing about this is police cannot really keep you safe, right? Like if you go out and you testify or you're gonna say, no, I'm gonna go out and report out what's going on, they won't protect you. Like how many people we know here who have been assaulted or threatened, or even a young brother who they had a few weeks ago who they said, well, he's been arrested for murder and homicide, and then they had to let him go because victims weren't showing up at court because they was threatened. It's like, no, these motherfuckers came and told me they're gonna kill me if I go to court. So they're not going. So as a result, he was released and went out and done the same thing over and over. But so I don't know if the police haven't up their stakes to say, okay, well, if somebody's going to like cooperate and help us in the neighborhood, we got to provide them some protection. I can't just help you close your case and then you gone and my shit getting shot up every other night, or I'm getting chased home every night. Like, cause this is the kind of shit that happen when people figure out, hey man, dude, be talking to them goddamn police. Some people gonna let it go, but it's some brothers who like, what? Check this out. You will turn around like no, you ain't got to worry about no feet sticking out from under your car because your car gonna be on fire. It's gonna be burning in the driveway, right? Like so, you better grip up. But the one thing I am saying with this is, I'm happy that there's some transparency. I'm happy that they're at least saying they're going to do something. I feel like the way this newspaper article breaks this down, go and look in the People's News Network and read the article because it talks about a bunch of different things. It talks about ghost guns. Like, and people haven't really caught up on the fact that there's a serious issue in the city with ghost guns. Ghost guns are guns that people order the parts offline from different places and then put the gun together themselves, which is very easy to do. It's not very hard to do. Because if you know firearms, they call it furniture. You can upgrade any part of your gun that you want. from the grip to the sights to whatever, and you can get those kits. It ain't no waiting. It ain't no you say, okay, I'm gonna get a lower unit. Boom. They'll send it to you. Before you know it, you done put together your whole own specialty AR-15 right in your own home. Right. And like, so you can build these guns. So that's an issue too. But I just want, now that you said what you're gonna do, and I appreciate the detail and the transparency, because we kept asking these questions like, okay, Mayor Johnson, I said he failed his first test because I felt like he was this really missed the mark when it came to what happened at the fire service. Talking about, okay, you can't go downtown after 8 if you're 17. I was like, what about the rest of the motherfucking city? And so I was saying he failed that test. I'm not gonna say he passed this one, but I do think it's a step in the right direction to have a plan. Kamar just said, give it some thought and make the right decision, right? And so if that's the case, I feel like this has been given some thought because they got a lot of data in here. They break down why, what's what, and the correlation between. If you understand data, you know that there's always correlations between data that's supposed to give you an understanding of why certain things are, or give you a theory on why certain things are the way they are. And I feel like they did a lot of that. Now, is this, as Lil J would call it, lip wrestling, or is this some real shit that they're gonna do? Because, and see, we talked about the involvement of social service agencies. I just hope this. I hope you have a unique way to involve them that's different from how you've been doing it this far, because up to this point, it has not worked. Right? A lot of money has been given to a lot of organizations. Get your money. I ain't, we don't count other men's money on here. But I'm saying let's be more creative in the way we kind of give them funding. Are you allowing the actual issues in the community to dictate what's funded, or are you allowing them to say, I'm gonna pick that one and I'm gonna work on it? You feel me? Because it's a different approach for somebody to say, you know what, the most money is in mentorship. Let's do mentorship then. Or somebody who will say, you know what, we really got an issue with hunger over here. The yield on it ain't as high as some of the other ones, but I feel like we need to do this. Or the city saying, no, statistically in 53206, recidivism is a problem. So we want to send specific programs over there for recidivism. That's what we fund it. So either do that or don't get no bread. Like, we need a new approach on how we've been kind of doing things, because nothing we've tried to this point has worked. And we keep talking about economic empowerment on here, which is something that we believe will really kind of start to put things in the right direction. But we ain't there yet, because I'm still waiting on Chevy and them to come up with some economic plan. We still, because he had to do that too, right? He's gonna have to come up with a lot more shit. Let's see how the brothers laying it out. So what potential ways to do this, man? Like what? Because I know we all do something different, right, in the movement. But what ideas would y'all have if Chevy called you right now and said, Rail, what should I do? Would you say, I don't know, cuz you on your own and hang up?
Honestly, shit, probably, because I don't know. Like you said, with the whole community shit, and it's like the unfortunate thing is the way society and the culture has been programmed. It's like bad is good and good is bad. So the person who go to work is a square and shit like that. They consider him lame. Like there was a rapper, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was My Son, where he was saying there's a snitch is somebody who capitalizes on the illegal street life, but when it's time to stand on wherever that brought him, he's willing to turn in a friend for lower time. He was like, Joe regular job guy ain't a snitch if he tells the cops. He's just a law-abiding citizen working through his avenue of justice. So, but nowadays everybody think everybody is a snitch and all, and so I think it would be even a challenge to get younger people who are in the age group of where they can make a difference to even be willing to work to better the community if it means working with the law.
Okay. I tell you what, it's one of them things again where we got to meet this energy in the right way. So if I am standing up for my community saying, yeah, I'm about to let these cats know what you did, and somebody say you snitching, I say, hell yeah, you come through here, fuck with me, I'm gonna burn your ass up too. And we as a community commit to it. Look, because if he's shooting at my neighbor house and I know that the only reason he's shooting at it is because dude trying to stop some bullshit, I got to grip up too as his neighbor and say, "Oh shit." I mean, we got to hold it down, man.
Yeah.
Like we always, well, oh Lord, call the police. Oh Lord, I ain't gonna, Lord,
And
please.
see, Cat, hey, look, and I'm with you, right? I'm with you on that, man. It just seemed like it's fucked up because the law
Because the
don't
law,
do that.
right? The law don't let you. I was
You should
watching
be able to,
oh
it's
my
a
bad.
it's a it's a divine law to protect yourself,
And your
self-preservation.
environment.
You know what I mean? But see, the way these laws, these physical laws are, you know what I mean? They take a lot of that shit away. They take the moral codes away and implement what they want.
Okay,
Right.
understood. But I think at a certain point, a man got to decide. I think it comes down to that individual. Like that's why I did like the part you said about think about what you about to do, right? Like think
Mm-hmm.
about it. Don't just because, like I say, I'll probably be in the window for a long time saying, "Damn, should I use a stick, a knife, use a chain? Like, should I kick the jack?" I'm gonna think about it because I don't want the punishment to be like, "Damn, all you did was break his foot. They gave you 10 years." Right? Like I want it so I can
Or should I go out here and get the ups on them and hold them here?
if he allows, I might have to rough him up a little bit in
Well,
order to
then that's
apprehend.
different. You
Right.
know what I
He
mean?
tried to get away though. He tried
And
to get
then it's hard to prove that even. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
yeah, 50-50 chance.
But it seems like you should be able to at least hold the motherfucker there.
Yeah. But no, overall, I believe the community does have responsibility. Listen, we did say that we as Black people have a lot to do, a lot more to do with what's going on in our community than we like to say, than we like to admit. In terms of a lot of negative things that are cultural norms, a lot of some of the things that we collectively have glorified or made into something that's really ain't shit, but we've made it into something that appears strong, like you say. Like, and we talked about this is another good thing about me being at the whole EBA event, in which a lot of the brothers, and y'all see this when the documentary comes out, a lot of them said, look, we were not a gang. We never went into this with the intentions of this becoming a gang. This was about us protecting our neighborhood. There were individuals who would choose to come into our community and do certain things to us, steal our bikes, break in our parents' garages and or do these like just run up on us just for no reason, shake you down type shit. And so we
Right.
banded together and said, we're not gonna allow this. We're gonna be unified for our neighborhood. We're gonna hold this down. We're gonna protect our shit. Of course, it went kind of crazy with the murder of brother Eric and all of that, and it eventually did become a gang. But I think Sean Moore had the best point when he said it wasn't until the gang shit started to be glorified, because up until that point, we always referred to each other as family. And it was when the gang shit started to become popular. You start seeing what was going on in California. You start seeing what's going on in Chicago. And then all of a sudden everybody over here said, well, we got gangs too. We're going to be a gang too. So, and then the criminal element came in. But I'm just saying our community has a lot of responsibility for what goes on in our community. And some of this shit can be stopped if most of us would just look at the motherfucker who's acting a fool and say, man, go on with that bullshit, man. Why you on that shit, cuz, man? Don't come around me with that, man. You can't come by my house with that. If a lot of us just invested in that, a lot of shit would be prevented. A lot of us say, man, that nigga a fool. He'll bust that thing. Ooh, that nigga, wow, man. You a real one. A real what? A real detriment to the community? A real instrument of genocide? Oh, no, he's a real nigga.
A real terrorist.
Right. Like, come on, bro. Like, if we could, and I know this is not fashionable, but imagine if we could have conversations with each other when we could say to another brother who might have a really aggressive, violent streak, like, bro, you need to figure out what's going on with you, man. It's
I
not
do it all the time.
be that overly aggressive and that violent and that ain't. People ask me all the time, why you be so mad? And then I had to sit down and like, well, it all started when I was 7. The motherfucker stole my big wheel, and I can get to the source of my rage, right?
And that's what it takes, man. I do it all the time. I had a homie of mine. Like the crazy thing about me is people get to kicking it with me in spurts. Like where it's like one friend just come back around, usually in their low point in life, and they be kicking it with me real heavy. Like and I had one who, he used to come through and he used to make it uncomfortable for my other people that was chilling with me to be around, because some people just don't do their liquor right, and then they get to bleed their emotions. And I used to tell them, hey fam, you need to get that shit out of you before you ever fuck with liquor, because You're not suppressing it. You're just expressing it ignorantly.
Right.
But and it was dope by just those talks I had with him. He did end up checking into a alcohol clinic and shit like that. But yeah, I don't. If I call you my friend or family and say I fuck with you, I'm gonna have them conversations with you that might even make you mad. But I do it out of love, and most time people receive it and they know I do it out of love, and it actually does help them reflect on themselves and do what they feel they need to do.
And that's why Kamar was saying, if he done told your ass for years and years and years you need to chill out and you still fucking up and you go to jail, he like, fuck you. I mean, he didn't say
Right.
that. I'm paraphrasing once again. But I say, nah, because I still support my homie because even though I'm probably giving him the right advice or the right
I ain't
kind of
finna
thing
be
to
no
do.
enabler no more.
No, I hear you, but I'm saying I may have been telling him, I may have been giving him advice, but unless I gave him something to deal with whatever that pain was, right? Like if I didn't point him in the direction where he could say, Kev, that helped me. If I just kept saying, no, you shouldn't do that, or that ain't, I can't really just say, oh, fuck you then. Because I told you, yeah, I told you, but like it's just like
I ain't saying, yeah,
our parents told
I
us
ain't
not to
saying
do a
fuck
bunch
you
of
because
shit.
when you, hey, I ain't saying fuck you because when you get out, I'm still your guy. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know before you go.
I ain't
I ain't
fucking
gonna be out here screaming free Ray. Nigga, I was trying to tell you to stop that shit.
Stuck on the phone for 30
No,
minutes
no,
making
I'm not
three-way
finna keep money
calls.
on my phone for you to call me. No, I'm not finna keep sending money to you because you need to buy some potato chips.
Call
No,
this number for me real quick.
no, and you know
I
what?
did that shit. I did that shit years ago. You know what I mean? I did enough. I paid my dues, man.
And if you that type of person where that you really out here bitching and moaning because somebody ain't give you no money to get some snacks, fuck you anyways.
That's what,
I'm
hey,
not
that's
I'm
what
not
it
doing
be.
no shit like that. I'm not see that's the shit I'm not gonna do. Cause when you come home and say that to me, like, man, yeah, but I need some snacks, I'd be like, motherfucker, I know it's gotta be a mop or something you can push around there to do that. I'm talking about my mama sick. I'm talking about my son is
Yeah,
struggling.
yeah, I get that.
So
Yeah.
now
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah, I
go over there and
definitely get
grab him
that.
and say, "Little dog, come on, ride with me, man." Or I'm gonna go to his mom and say, "Miss so and so, so can I help you?" Once again, even my family members who've been in behind the wall, there was support for them in that regard. But we all got enough self gumption to go out into the prison and figure out, okay, it's the economy in here as well. I need money for my zoom zooms and wham whams. Like I can't call home and say, "Send some money so I can get some ramen noodles, nigga." No, you motherfucker, you better go sweep or something. Go do something. Get you a hustle. But the outside shit
Mhm.
that you can't reach, yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry about your mom straight, man. I went to South. Your mama needed a ride. I went to, I'm in tune with that. I'm not saying, I'm gonna hold you down. And I show as hell ain't wearing no t-shirt talking about free nobody, especially if they really did what they were accused of, right? It ain't nobody business. But I'm saying, if I got somebody who's just railroaded and framed, then I might put a shirt on and say, man, free this man. He shouldn't be there. But if you went in there because you, man, they call me with 9 keys. All right, well, I ain't wearing no t-shirt say free you. You know what I'm saying? I say end the war on drugs, or I say drug laws is bullshit. But mother, you actually caught with 9 keys. Like it is, it is what it is. So yeah, man. But accountability. Okay, I think that's the word we all looking for. And most of what we're talking about is centered around accountability. Like be accountable for what you're doing. Instead of they say throw the rock, hide your hand, you're gonna do some shit, then blame everybody else. Oh, I beat that woman because I seen other women getting beat. Motherfucker, I ain't seen how many fights I done seen. I ain't just went out and wholesale beat somebody ass because my daddy beat my mama. Then you should know better. Get your ass in that cell and sit down. I don't want to hear that shit. Remember how bad you felt as a kid watching your mama get whooped? That's how bad them kids feel. Get your ass in that cell, right? And I know it's a lot of people care that ain't right. That ain't right. We shouldn't be feeding our people to this system. Some of these motherfuckers need to be locked up, right? If you
Yeah,
willing to lay your
yeah,
ass in
you
my
do wrong. I
driveway,
mean, hey, look, what the fuck you supposed to do with somebody you breaking the law? Like, you know what I mean? Whether it's this system or a system that we put up ourselves, if a motherfucker break the law, they gotta go to jail.
man, I remember we had brother Truth Transfer Engineer on here, and some of our biggest arguments would be what we thought should be done with criminals in our society. And he always felt like black people should not be held to any standard in terms of when they commit crimes, because he said nobody else had. And he's like, why do we have to have so much accountability when ain't nobody else been accountable? And so I was like, well, because they will lock your ass up. And if we know anything is absolute in our community is that you is gonna go to jail. Might not stay a long time, but you're gonna go. you'll spend a few nights, right? Like you going up north, you're gonna get to see northern Wisconsin. Um, MC Tone is MC Tone. Oh shit, MC Tone in the chat room. He said they framed me. Them 10 pounds was not mine, even though it was in my car. Right. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, MC Tone. That ain't my shit. Y'all put that shit in there. Y'all stash this on me. I don't know if y'all ever seen Dolomite when they tried to frame him when in the beginning of the movie when he got out of jail. He said, open the trunk. I ain't opening shit, motherfucker.
Motherfuckers.
The most famous roundhouse kick that's ever been launched was in that movie, Dolomite,
Oh
man.
man.
Motherfucker, boy. That shit was hilarious. But yeah. Now here's another thing, man. Because this all this stuff is usually I see something and I want to talk about it on the show because it probably coincides with some things we've spoken about before. And it's been a while, but I remember a while ago I told the story because I found this article and I put it in the People's News Network about King Leopold from Belgium. Belgium. And if you don't know, King Leopold, throughout the colonialization of the Congo,
The African Hitler.
300 million, I think the last number was, deaths from the Congo over that period of time. 300 million people lost their lives. Now, recently there's a new political regime, president. I don't know what they call him over there. I ain't up on my Congolese, right? I know historically over the years I paid attention to what's going on in the Congo. It's been a lot of bloodshed, a lot of wars, a lot of people just murdered and slaughtered. But the king, the new Belgian king, and I ain't gonna say his name because fuck him. He said he expressed regrets, but he did not apologize, right? So from 1885 to 1960, they said that there was 10 million deaths, 10 million deaths throughout the colonialization of Belgium. Now, here's the cold part about it. They were so cruel at a certain point that when rubber mines, where they got rubber from, when they didn't their quota, they would cut their hands off. They had to give up their hands for not meeting the quota of a resource that was formed naturally in their homeland. And here's the most cold part about it. Still to this day in Belgium, right? And people say Belgian chocolate is fine quality chocolate. One of their most favorite snacks is a chocolate hand. Candy, a chocolate hand, and they give them to each other as gifts. Still to this day. Here's my issue. Well, with every other travesty of justice, whenever there's and I'm not specifically calling on the Holocaust, but the Holocaust is involved. Whenever Native Americans, these people have been murdered. When we go and blow up a country, aid comes in right away. There was always some kind of reparations given. There's never any mention of making sure that people of color are compensated for all the bullshit that has happened to us. You can't even talk about the Holocaust without Jewish people falling the fuck out in the floor. 6 million people were murdered. When I say, do you know that the Middle Passage killed 100 million black people? All I get is crickets. Nobody wants to talk about it, right? It's this is one of those hypocritical things for me where this is why I get so mad at the United States for always trying to help some European country, always trying to go somewhere and defend somebody when y'all ain't rarely lifted a goddamn finger for all of the injustice. Now we talking about from Northern Africa all the way down to South Africa. How long was South Africa allowed to exist? And the United States sat by. Well, we know that they was fucking they niggas up over here too. So, or as they call us in South Africa, Kafirs, right? And then people wonder why we, as black people, we look at white people with the side eye, right? And this is one of those reasons. You're talking about the fact that this is a king of a country, Leopold. Nobody now when they did that with the Jews and all that, America said we got to do something. We got to stop the axis, the evil axis. They're gonna take over. We got to go. They the United States included, sat idly by while this shit was happening in the Congo. Nobody stepped in to say, "Oh, we're gonna put what they call them when you can't get shit." Fuck, I can't remember.
Embargo.
Yeah, we're gonna put an embargo on Belgium, or we ain't gonna do bit. You don't even hear people talking about it. You don't hear people talking about it.
Hey, you know, on Tarzan, remember the movie Tarzan? The beginning of the movie Tarzan, they had Leopold on there.
Okay.
And you know what was weird is they showed how the Moorish people led them into Africa.
Okay.
The very beginning of the movie, man, check it out. You see them wearing their fezzes and everything. And you know, like Moorish people here, they'll tell you like they was black back then.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean. If you put two and two together, and I had been heard that it was the Moorish people that led them in, but I was just saying that they actually showed that on Tarzan.
Okay. And now I don't know. It's been so many different damn Tarzans. Which one was it?
The newest one, the latest one. It was, I want to say, it may have been about five years ago or something like that.
You know what, Kamar? You are absolutely right. You are right. Shout out to you. Because I seen that movie, and you're right. It was King Leopold.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole thing. You're right. I did. Now you said that. I'm like, damn, which Tarzan? But I do remember because that's what happened. And that's why Tarzan left England and went back because they had destroyed the village. They were threatening the people that he had been raised when he took over the jungle and was running the monkeys, everything as a white man. Right. And we know, we know that's not even real. We know it's not real, but if you can imagine, if you want to be able to imagine the scope of the cruelty of King Leopold, you can go and watch that movie. And there's many other ones. There's a lot of documentaries out there to go and watch, but I'm just saying, Erica Ville said black means dead. Depending on who you are. That's not what it means to me, but you know.
I shouldn't have said black. My bad, Erica.
No, why not?
Man, that shit get me though, man. Like this is what we gonna debate about, right?
Okay.
What black mean, what we call ourselves. This is what black people want to debate about, really. You know what I mean? All the shit that we got going on out here, we want to debate about what the fuck our color is.
And there is some
that bullshit, man. And stop correcting me every time I say black people. I identify with black people because my people identify with it. I'm with my people.
She said that's what the Moors say. Black means dead.
Well, hey, man.
I'm not a Moor.
They say that, but you know, everything comes from black too.
The most fucked up part of
Leopold really
was if you didn't meet your quota, it wasn't that he was cutting your hands off because he still needed you to work. He would make the man watch while he cut the hands off of his wife and children if he didn't meet their quota. So that's how fucked up he was. And yeah, they call it the African Holocaust, but of course we don't hear about it because we've been, they've been mad at us for a long time.
I'm only laughing because MC Tone said King Leopold stole one of his hoes back.
But slavery's still going on in Africa, but instead of mining rubber now, they mine the shit for the phones or the I forgot what it's called. It's a black mineral, but it's the reason that all the smartphones work.
I know. Yeah.
And so slavery still goes on in Africa. It's either this shit for the phones or diamonds, rubber, like all that shit. Slavery ain't going nowhere.
I know what you're talking about, and I can't remember that element that they use for those phones, and those mines over there are really big. Oh shit, man! You're right about the phones. But listen, okay, so we if you don't understand that a long time ago, all of those countries sat at a meeting and intentionally carved up Africa,
divvied up Africa.
This is not an urban legend. This is not something that was that may not have. No, this actually happened. Yeah. And a lot of the colonialized roots that was planted of seeds that were planted in Africa still exist to this day. It was a period in the 60s where a lot of countries declared their independence, right? And you can look back, a lot of them, Nigeria and places like that. But there's still a lot of places where those countries still have military forces to this day. Yeah. Now, here once again is the hypocrisy of our country. When you look at Russia and you say, okay, what's the man name? What's the Russian president name? I almost said Ulov.
Putin.
I almost said Ulov. I don't know why Ulov. He's looking at Ukraine saying, look, Y'all on some bullshit. Y'all keep it up, we gonna run through there. And the United States says, don't you dare. But you ain't said shit to none of these occupying forces in Africa that are still ruling with an iron fist in certain countries. Japan is one of them. Japan, China, they exploit Africans. I just seen where oh my gosh, there was another African president, and I should have referenced that story. I didn't write it in my talking points. He just sent I think he from Zimbabwe. He sent I think 19 Chinese businessmen out the country because he said
They
their
need
business
to. They
practices in the
need
country
to.
was exploitive and was out of order. So
They need to.
yeah, but it's just so, I think if
They
Africa, my word of advice to Africa is, and I know that they probably don't want to hear this, if they improve their relationship with us, right? Because the one thing about Israel is, you know who supports Israel? American Jews. Jews worldwide support Israel. They say no, that's our land. That's where we at. That's how Israel gets to exist, right? If the United States and Africa, the black people here in Africa were to have a real relationship, and I ain't talking about come on home, you can come stay here. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about instead of y'all come. I know that was horrible, right? I'm talking about instead of y'all coming over here saying, "Oh, we don't really get along with you," because most Africans here would rather fuck with white people. Most native Africans. I'm going too fast because I'm hyped. Most native Africans would rather fuck with a white man here over you. And they would say, I don't to get along with the American blacks. Like they'll tell us our cultures is bad. We all fucked up. I know, Rail. Don't be laughing at me and shit, man. Rail just laugh at me
man, them
because I'm
accents, man.
he be laughing at my remedialness all the
The accents, and then shout out to poor babies. But
time. Right. Shout out
that
to
shit hilarious. But
right,
no,
no doubt.
I used to fuck with a well, I had an African friend. She was Nigerian. And she was just telling me how pretty much because we had that conversation. Because she was like, I'll bring you home to my father, and he'll actually like you because and I was like, why the fuck don't they like everybody? And they was like, well, they see that they look at it as Black Americans are basically wasting the opportunity. She was saying how they had to scratch and scrape to come here, and once they came here, like her father was working 2 full-time jobs and shit because he like it's unheard of that you can make your own money and keep your money type shit. Like these countries they come from. You know what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of third world, not third world people, immigrants come. That's why they look at us a certain way because it's like, damn, in their mind, it's like, damn, they got all these options. They can get state, assistance. They can go to school for free, and they not doing shit with it. But then also, what they were saying is that when different Black immigrants come to America, they basically let them know, okay, if you fuck with these people and they like basically if you fuck with a Black American and they're getting into trouble, they gonna stay here. We gonna send your ass back home. So a lot of them have been that fear has been instilled in them of looking at us as basically like don't fuck with them because if they a troublemaker, like
Like me.
propaganda and the media try to show us out to be. But
Right.
if they're a troublemaker and y'all get into some trouble, they get to stay here. You gotta take your ass home.
Right, but why you equating it to you gonna get in trouble because you fuck with us? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I feel like
That's the
we come over
programming. That's
here
the
and
propaganda. That's the
a
rap
lot of
videos. The oh yeah
a lot of times they personify the pacifism that got us in this fucking position anyways because they like, oh no, don't do that, don't say that, don't. And American Black people, we be like, fuck them, because we speak the language of our oppressors. That's one thing we adapted our oppressors' behavior, right? Africans kind of, just be honest, they kind of did this. Okay, don't beat us, just take it, take the oil. I will get it out the ground for you. Black people be like, fuck that shit, y'all gonna have to fire me, I'll get unemployment. And I know historically we that's why for so long slavery was able to persevere over here because there was still that element of Africa within us. Once we got fully Americanized, right, and then fought in some of their wars and learned we could shoot guns and all that shit too, then it went to a different level. It wasn't us just giving it up. It was them really coming in and saying, no, motherfucker, we're gonna come here and kill all y'all. And we still like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand that Black Americans are different, but I keep saying Black people are the only race that was created by America. We are the only true Americans. If you don't believe that, you're silly. This country didn't produce no other race because guess what? Italians came from Italy. French people came from France. Spanish people came from Spain. Black people came from Mississippi and Alabama and Texas and Louisiana. You say, well, you did was by way of Africa. Well, it was so long ago that was lost. When we keep saying when they got us here, they stripped us of any understanding of our original culture in the first place. So in essence, the cultures that we established in this country are American cultures. Soul food ain't Black food, it's American food. That shit was created in America. Never say French fries come from France. Well, then goddamn neck bones come from America. It ain't Black people. American food, right? Bacon and ham hocks, all that shit's American. That's what it is. So I know I get on my soapbox, y'all. I'm sorry. It's Outlaw Radio, man, live from the basement. Fuck Belgium, right? And fuck the Ukraine too. Because they don't got no love for us. Fuck the whole continent of Europe. I dare to say. I'm for real. Italy, all of them, fuck them all. None of this. Well, I can't say Italy because the Moors ran up in that thing and made the debarges at one point. So they got a lot of us in there. So we give Italy a pass. And plus, I think Italian people are funny as shit. So they can go. They can come. Some of them can come to the cookout. Hey, give me some of them fucking ribs. That's a bad one too, real. Hey, yo, Kevin, give me some of them fucking ribs.
Wow.
I managed to make sure I offend everybody. You gotta understand.
Fucking mooly.
I done offended Africans. I done told Belgium fuck them. I just said fuck Europe. We ain't gonna even name one country. We gonna say all y'all, right? Fuck Europe. And I think we should get some t-shirts that say that. Fuck Europe. Hashtag fuck Europe, right? I think we should say that. Because Europe has been the source of a lot of bullshit over the years. All the bullshit in terms of oppression comes from Europe. Fucking Germany and all of them motherfuckers just want to go conquer some shit. We come to take your oil. We come to take your get your ass. How you gonna come to my Belgium? How in the fuck you gonna come to my country? The rubber's ours. You not only take it over and make me mine it, but when I don't give you enough, you cut my motherfucking hand off. You cut my wife's hand off. You cut my kid. You motherfuckers is demons. You fucking monsters. Who's a savage? That's when white people say, oh, they're all savages. I'd be like, you motherfuckers calling somebody savage?
Oh no, we've never been savages, and and the only historical records of cannibalism are done by European white people. They used to eat each other as pilgrims when they ran out of food, but also they used to grind up mummy bones and shit and drink that shit as a medicine. So
hey, dig this. Right, here goes some logic to it all too.
For sure,
about where cannibalism come from. You look at where white people come from. They come from the Caucasus Mountains, right? Where they live in them caves. We come from Africa, where fruit and vegetables and shit grow abundantly out of trees and out the ground and shit. And don't shit grow in the cave. They in the caves, man, thousands and thousands of years, man. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck else is they gonna eat? You know what I mean? Like, okay, you got people in there, people die. Don't nothing grow in there. You're gonna eat dead meat. That's where that shit come from.
Listen, once again, this is why it was a beautiful conversation when I was on Frontline Black News, in which we talked about people say, well, we hate white people, or do you hate white people? And I say, I don't hate white people, right? I don't. I understand white people, right? I know what to expect from them. I know how they move. I understand how they see things and how they see us. So there's no time for me to waste in hating them. Like, I don't have the energy to be sitting around trying to get my anger up about, oh, I can't stand that white man. I understand him. He can't disappoint me because I don't expect nothing from him, right? Like, as soon as they show up, I go, oh, shit, here we go. Here we go. It's the same old shit. So it ain't about me hating them, right? Like, so if I say, okay, I want my daughter to marry a black man, I would like her to, but I'm not going to ever make, it's her choice, right? It's her life. But as a father, I think I should be allowed to say, I'd like to see you marry a strong young black man. And people say, oh, because you hate white people. No, because I like black people. That's why. It ain't really got nothing to do with who I hate. Like when you say, oh, you love black people, that must automatically mean you hate white people. Why is that the case? When everybody else is allowed to love and appreciate who they are except for us. As soon as we do it, we get ostracized. As soon as we do it, we get alienated, right? And a lot of us go along with that shit. So you got a bunch of black people walk around this motherfucker talking about, I don't see color. I don't see color. How the fuck you get dressed in the morning? You can't see. You don't know what the fuck you got on right now. What the hell do you do at the intersection? See, you one of the motherfuckers who causing all these accidents because you don't see colors. So you don't know what color the goddamn lights are. Oh, I love everybody. Everybody don't fucking love you, right? You go take your ass over there to Belgium. Walk up to one of these Ukrainian refugees. Walk up to one of them and say, hey man, how you doing, brother? That motherfucker gonna look at you like he ain't gonna like your ass, and his shit just got blew up. He ain't gonna show you no love. Most Arabs over here, they don't fuck with us. They'll come in our neighborhoods. That's why I'm always laughing when people like, man, that's one cool Arab. Man, I love that Arab, man. That Arab be tripping. Man, that motherfucker don't give a fuck about you. And he's gonna get his ass the fuck about the community when it's dark and that store closed and get his ass to Cedarburg or Mequon, and he's gonna send his kids to UWM and Marquette while he's selling you blunts and pork skins. And I like pork skins too. Give it up.
Pork skins. Man, I used to fuck up them salt and sour pork skins back when I used to eat pork.
Give me them hot and spicy joints. My mama used to make cracklings. She said they're not Arabs. Okay. My mom used to make cracklings, so I grew up eating. That's why motherfucker got high blood pressure now and shit.
Man, my daddy used to make hog head cheese.
My daddy used to make hog head cheese too, and I still, if I can catch that Malone's hot and spicy, I tear that shit from them.
They whacking for it, man. They whacking so bad. That's why I'm glad I don't eat pork no more. But I used to fuck up that hot hog head cheese, man.
With some saltine crackers.
I used to throw it on them jalapeno cruncher chips. I took it to the next level, man. That shit was, and that's why my stomach fucked up now.
Kamar said I eat vegan pork skins, motherfucker. Fried avocado hulls.
Hey, that's the best thing for you.
Man,
when I was vegan though, man, I got down to 225. Well, I got from 352 to 225, and then I was like, man, shit. You slowly progress. Like it started with just fish, because I was fiending for like some catfish tails, some old country shit. But man catfish tails is like the best part of the motherfucking fish.
You might as well say chicken feet.
Hey, I ain't never had it, but I heard that soup is good.
Oh shit. Hold on, I gotta check. My chat room is popping. Goddamn, we gotta get MC Tone on this show. He said that's why I walk with a limp. They cut my toe off. Niggas thought I was walking like we gotta get MC Tone on the show, man. He's showing out. MC Tone, I'm gonna hit him up after the show. I'm gonna figure out when we're gonna get MC Tone on here. Erica Ville said we are different. You're right. Shout out to Deacon Mikey Davis. He was at the little gathering, what I call the unification event. On Saturday. Deacon is my homeboy. That's neighborhood. One of my bros. One of the fellas. Neighborhood. If you know, you know. He was shouting out Mickey Crittenton, who's also in the documentary. She said they're not Arabs. They might not be, but I don't give a fuck. I'll call them whatever I want to call them, because they call us whatever they want to call us. So I'll be like, shit. Like I tell a motherfucking man, fuck your French ass. I'm German. I don't give a fuck. Get your ass out of here. Shout out to MC Tony. Say he don't eat anything that begin with a P. I don't have no restrictions on because I eat pizza, so I don't know what P you talking about. I eat pasta, right? Like I'm not going there with you, MC Tony. It's a family show. Hey, it's motherfucking kids watching and shit. Erica Ville said, pick a slave on Green Bay. Okay. What do they sell? A hog head cheese, the Malone's, the hot and spicy joint. Okay,
they whacking. Man, go online and see how much they whacking for now. It's wild.
She said, go buy them all so my mama can stop eating them. Look, man. Listen, my wife, if I come home with the Malone joint and the crack, she just shake her head and just look at me like, no, you ain't supposed to be eating that. Man. I'm like, look here, baby. Give me them crackers out. Because listen, I eat summer sausage. I eat pause summer like the actual real summer sausage. I know motherfuckers out here be right. Kev eating sausage. Kev on the internet eating sausage. I mean,
Man,
eat all kinds
them
of shit
platters
that's
with the cheese and the sausage used to go hard, man. You
right.
know,
I
but
mean, I
yeah.
eat a lot of things that's bad for me, so I don't draw the line like, okay, I'm gonna eat a whole bunch of shit, but I ain't gonna eat no hog head cheese. Nah, man. If I can eat a Big Mac, I can eat some hog head cheese. Go ahead, Kamar, because I know all this talk about this food is making you sick.
Oh no, man! Hey, look, I'm letting y'all have y'all fun, man. You know what I mean? I can't indulge like hog head cheese. I ain't had no hog head cheese in over 20 years.
Wee,
Man,
No,
it's been about
no pork
5 or 6
skins.
for
I ain't
me,
had none
man.
of them in over 20 years.
It's
Wee.
it's been about 5 or 6 for me, hog
Hey,
head
I
cheese,
used to
man.
like
And
that shit. Don't get me wrong. I used to
I
love it when
still
I
like
did
it.
eat it though.
It's just the health factor and
That's
just, you know.
hey, that's like I could go outside and somebody barbecue and it still smell good to me. I just don't want it. It's
Erica,
weird, man. You know what I mean? It smell good, but I don't want it.
Erica is right. She said she eat a whole block and then check her blood pressure. I'm one of them people too and shit. Like, man, I gotta start doing better after I get done eating this motherfucker. So even when I buy it now, I buy a slim pack, right? Because when my kids was little, it was funny because they would pretty much eat whatever I ate, right? Like, so I had a
Yeah.
joint, I'd be eating it. My kids, oh, this is good, until I explained to them what it was, and then they was like, nah, we good
Oh,
on that.
word.
And we didn't know that's what it was, pops. And I'm like, no, my daddy used to literally make this in the kitchen, like with the head of a hog. Like
And the
I'm not
snoots,
exaggerating.
snoots and
Would pull
ears.
the meat off the skull of the hog, remove the skull, take the meat, put it through a grinder while it was hot, and grind it into a loaf and let it sit overnight. Where he added seasonings and his spices. Y'all see it. My fat ass know the recipe. Next morning, that should be gel. It be gel, like it comes in that loaf. You go in there with you a knife. What?
Man.
You make hot and mild, man. That's some. Give it up for hog head cheese.
Look, if you know how to make it, man, if you know how to make it, that's a nice little lick because it ain't whacking for it. So like I know people that's looking for it for cheaper prices. So yeah,
Well,
you might want to rebirth that skill set, man.
white people eat it too, but they call it sauce. They
Sauce,
call it
yeah.
sauce. That's what they
Well,
call it.
sauce, it's a little different, man. It seems a little more
It ain't
like
got the spices.
you can shake that shit and it kind of flap like a. It don't melt with body heat like hog head cheese.
That's what we say. It's cheese. It's black cheese, hog head cheese, right? Because if you're gonna drink white milk, everybody who's saying, y'all drink milk. That shit's full of cow pus. That's why they pasteurize it. Because it's full of bullshit. And people
Yeah.
pouring it over cereal and all kinds of shit looking at me because I'm eating some hog head cheese.
Yeah, I fuck with oat milk. As of right now, I like oat milk better than like the almond milk and cashew milk I tried. My kids didn't like coconut milk at all, but like it seemed like everybody happy with the oat milk right now.
MC Tone said they ate a barbecue pit bull. I don't know what the hell MC Tone. Erica Ville said it looked nasty. What is it? It's the meat off the hog's head. That's what it is. The snout, the cheeks, the ears, everything ground up into a loaf, and they add seasoning to it, and it jello. What do they say? It goes in forms of gelatin form. I forget what they call it. When it sits overnight and it kind of gelatin. I don't know. It's gelatinous. That's what they say. I'm having a brain fart. Can't remember the word. She said no thanks. Well, black people eat pig feet, pig tails, pig ears. The chitlins is the intestine, right? Like, so you gotta know if you're gonna say, I don't eat that. Well, okay. It's just like a lot of people love vegetables and fruit and plants, but one of the most powerful fertilizers is shit, right? And so Malorganite is made with human shit, and a lot of y'all eating vegetables fresh out of Malorganite fertilization. So yeah, it's all good, right? One man's trash is another man's treasure.
You make all the logic you want, Kev, but it ain't the same.
Hey, all right. We can agree to disagree, my brother. We can agree to disagree. One thing about it, we ain't gonna argue about it. That's the most beautiful part
right.
about it. Like, no, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna go get me a piece of hog head cheese, slap it on the saltine, and my feet up and be like, hey, gotta die from something. But no, what else do I got? Okay, so now did y'all see? Okay, this is weird too. and we all on this show have talked about this too. I love it when a plan comes together. I told people a long time ago on Outlaw Radio, and my brother, because we had this whole discussion. Kamar, I don't know if you was on the show then when we talked about whether or not we believed in UFOs. And I said I absolutely positively believe in UFOs. I absolutely positively believe that there is life in outer space. I think that there's other planets in this universe that support life, and I think one day we will encounter them. My brother said, "Motherfucker, you out your mind, right? We ain't even been to the moon. They made that shit up. You don't know what." I said, "Okay, cool." But now you've seen that there's actually now a real investigation because so many UFOs have been popping up, where the United States military is even admitting, the Air Force and whatnot, like, look, we got to do some research on this. This shit is becoming crazy. Now, I put this picture, and this ain't got nothing to do with aliens, but I'm saying I think we on the precipice of a lot of shit that we thought was fake or that they told us wasn't real is real. And they're gonna have to start coming clean with a lot of this shit, right? And so, did you see this image of this thing outside the zoo in Amarillo, Texas? You ever seen Guardians of the Galaxy? The little raccoon, what's his name? I forget what his name is.
I
Damn,
know
what's
what
his
you're
name?
talking about, but I don't know the
Ratchet or
name of
something like that.
Ratchet. I think is that his name? I don't know.
I think
You
his
said
name Ratchet, but I don't
there's a
remember.
game called Ratchet and Clank. You
Yeah,
got me
Ratchet and
fucked up,
Clank.
bro.
I remember that shit.
But this thing, there's no way this thing can be human. And a fox does not walk on its hind legs with their hands at their side. Like this thing look like Wile E. Coyote literally just pimping past the gate, walking down the street. It is ridiculous, man. And there's been
Yeah.
so yes, you got to go. And then they saying we don't know what this is. Like that picture, it's in the People's News Network, man. But how close are we to actually in our lifetime where we'll see an alien? And I want people not to be surprised when that alien say, "Man, we've been here forever."
Yeah, they been
Bro,
here.
I'm alien locusts, man. I grew up on locusts. Like, motherfucker, I never knew. Remember that motherfucker who y'all thought was weird, who never came out of his house? That was always you never seen him. That was us. We just didn't come out because we don't fuck with y'all.
right.
Fuck with people on the planet do bip, right? Like so, and I'm making do bip up, right? But shout out to do bip. But I'm just saying, how close are we to seeing this, man? Because here's my last thing. If you look at the time period between about 1930 to 1960, the learning curve on innovation is off the charts, meaning more things were innovated and created. The computer, simple things like aluminum foil and cellophane and plastic, how to use plastic and microchips. All this shit comes soon as there's that alleged crash in Roswell and supposedly aliens were secured and Area 51 is established. The jump in technology years goes, the telephone go from the telephone to the cell phone. We thought cell phones was like, you ain't never think the internet was going to be working the way it is now. And they call it reverse engineering, in which alien technology was obtained, and that's how we made deals with them. Like, y'all can go live on Locust if y'all show us how to make like shrink wrap and show us how to make microwave ovens and all. I believe it. That's my take on it. What y'all think about that shit?
I don't know. I believe in UFOs and all that shit too. You know what I mean? Unidentified flying object. I mean, shit, anything that fly in the sky damn near to us is unidentified if it ain't no airplane or helicopter. You know what I mean? There's got to be a bunch of other shit, man. I think about how much time has passed since maybe the Earth has been around. You know what I mean? Like in all these years, I mean, all types of plants and life done developed here, man. I mean, other shit got to be somewhere else too.
That's all I'm saying. The audacity of us to believe be the only place where it's life at. Like, no, it can't be no life nowhere else. This got to be it. Like, how stupid or how short-sighted of you to think, especially with all this all the power and real responsibility that we've given whoever we think our creator is. Why would we think if he or she created this vast universe that they would only inhabit one planet? To me, that's just so short-sighted. What you think about this the alien shit, Rail?
Man, shit, I grew up on it. My father, I grew up on sightings and unsolved mystery. Like even that shit you describing, even though I didn't see a picture of it, my father's a Sasquatch enthusiast, but he also talks about this shit called Dog Man. So that sound like I'm send that shit to him because he was a truck driver all my life. So he been all around and shit. Like, man, the shit I seen on the road, if I could only describe it, but he always, man, he sent me something last year talking about the alien disclosure was going to be this year because as more and more shit is being disclosed because it's within that time frame where they got to make it public. Now they got to try to feed motherfuckers this shit in breadcrumbs like, oh, we just now investigate. No, man, they just the interviews I grew up on, man, about motherfuckers talking about they were contracted by the military to dig dumbs, deep underground military bases.
Mm-hmm.
They got those motherfuckers, and they connected by tunnels with super
Sure are.
fast trains and shit. But there's a dude talking about his father was contracted. Damn, what's his name? Phil. I can't remember his name right now, but he said his father accidentally dug into one of them underground alien bases where them motherfuckers was gray, but they was like 7 feet tall, and they got into a war type shit, But yeah, man, I believe me personally, I grew up Christian, devout as hell. But as I just grew older and start doing more research and looking at ancient legends and scripts, it a lot of the legends say that Earth was seeded by extraterrestrials. Even in the Dogons, they got the people from Sirius B. They say their ancestors came from Sirius B. They knew where Sirius B was before motherfuckers could even see it with a telescope. So, with this shit, it's just like, oh, now they starting to come out. But they also research Project Bluebeam.
Right.
I got my tinfoil hat on right now. Shit.
It's all good. He swear he thought one of his hoes was an alien, right? He said,
Hey,
I swear I thought one of my hoes was.
she exotic. Set her out.
Oh my goodness, man. That man got the green broad down there stripping.
Set her out.
MC Tone said he said he bet your father like Hennessy a lot, right?
Oh
The
no,
dog man.
my
The dog
pops is
man.
a E&J red topper or
Oh,
something.
yeah, neighborhood, right? If you know, you
What I'm
know.
saying? Shit.
Yeah, man. Me and your pops get along well, even though I had to drink white
Hey,
now. I don't.
yeah, man, he cool as hell, man. Play music, it ain't nothing he can't fix as far as electronics. Like I grew up, like I was 6 years old fucking with DOS prompts because my father would Frankenstein computers together
Mm.
and be having them shits running colder than anything you could buy.
Yeah,
And,
one of
and
these days when it's time for me to come over there and bring some RCs through there to whoop y'all ass, but I'm sure I'll get to meet him. Uh,
yeah, he'll be over here.
I had to tell him like, dude in Harlem nice though before I turn my shit on. Like, don't take this ass whooping personally.
Right.
um, Erica Ville said the doggone. I think she's talking about what you was talking about.
Yeah, the doggone, or yeah, they either call it Dogon or doggone, but they say they from
I
the
said
dog star.
doggone. It might be doggone. I was
Oh
it's
no, they pronounce it either way,
my
because they say
country
they
at.
from the dog star, which is Sirius B.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't that thick with it, y'all. I ain't that thick with it. I just know there have over the years been a lot of unexplained phenomena. And I've spent a lot of time watching Loch Ness Monster specials, watching Sasquatch specials, watching alien sightings, listening to all these kinds of different things. And there's some fabrication there, I'm sure. But most of the time, most lies start with a little bit of truth.
Most of
It's
it
usually
is
truth.
most of it is truth that they got to convince you is a lie. Like even in Wisconsin, do you know there were bones of like 13 feet people unearthed, and they had 2 rows of teeth, like they was the
Uh-huh.
red-headed giants and shit in Wisconsin. If you follow the Mississippi down to Illinois, well, they all getting plowed over now, but there was actually mounds that had like old Egyptian artifacts and tall ass skeletons in it. Like even in the Grand Canyon, there's
Yeah,
areas that
it's a
they
cave
don't.
that you can't go to.
Yeah, that got Egyptian and Indonesian artifacts and shit like that.
Yeah, some white man stole that shit and hid it back in the days, and then they found that shit. And that's some white people. That's they stash and
I
stole.
don't think so.
No, we was here.
I think our people inhabited the whole
We
earth at one
we
point.
are we okay. Earth has been populated for at least 100,000 years. The gene that causes white people has only been on this earth for 6,000, 7,000 years. That's why they have Genesis start 6,000 years ago type shit. But so anything before 6,000 years ago was people of color, and we navigated this earth 50,000 years ago. There's a current that take you from Africa to America that Africans knew about and told the Spanish people about.
Yeah, like you could put a piece of paper in a certain spot over in Africa. I think it's in Ghana somewhere, and that paper gonna drift all the way to the United States.
Puerto Rico or some shit.
And I let the white people find out, they be done block that shit off. Like, we're gonna charge you to send this paper down this river now. It's gonna cost you 25 cents per paper.
That's what war is about. I mean, like, even this Ukraine shit, they say that's a trade route. Like, the reason motherfuckers fighting over Ukraine, it ain't never about morals. It's always a money move for war. It ain't never about, oh, we gotta help these disenfranchised people. Most of the time, America done went in there and caused the disruption in the political regime.
Type shit, right? Not all y'all fighting. They're gonna say, well, I don't know what's wrong with them.
We got to go over there and solve the war they having.
Gave everybody some hints and shit. They ain't gonna say you ain't had nothing to do with it. Tiasha Arthur said, I believe there's life on other planets. What state is where they have a place under guard by the army and said they have some aliens in the place? Yeah, you talking about Area 51 in New Mexico, I believe. Yeah,
no, there's plenty places, man. Like, even there's in the 1950s, there's an account of a pilot who was going over Antarctica, and that's one of the reasons nobody's allowed to fly over Antarctica, and every country in the world got like a treaty to be in Antarctica, because they say there's a hole down there that goes into the center of the earth, and there's like Agartha. Just look up Agartha.
Yeah, I'm like Charles Barkley say, I could, but I'm not gonna.
That's for anybody who want to do that research. You know, it ain't for everybody, but I like to try. I know,
because that shit scares me. That's why I be like, what is a hole? They finna swallow us up. I'm trying to live. Like, I don't like.
I feel you, and like, that's why they keep this shit under wraps for the average person who say, man, I don't want to think about that shit. I just want to go to work tomorrow.
Right, I'm trying to kick it, man. That's why when I was little, church had me twisted off top, because when they would get to talking about the rapture and all that, it would terrify me, man. They had me as a little kid losing my mind.
I used to wake up in the middle of the night and run in and check and see if my little brother was still in his crib, just to make sure I wasn't left behind. So that's some terrible shit to tell some kids, man. Like, this is one of my issues with church. Like, and then it made me to the point where I researched the shit, and it's like, okay, it say that even if this was to happen, it ain't gonna happen until the son of perdition has been known. So that means, like, for all the people who be like, oh, we gonna fly out of here before the bullshit happen, I was always the kind of person, pray for the best, but prepare for the worst. And according to the scriptures, it never said you was gonna be out of here before bullshit happened. Caligula used to dip Christians in wax and set them on fire to light up his streets. So if they weren't saved from bullshit, it would be pretty arrogant for me to think that I would be saved from bullshit. So that's why I learned how to garden. That's why I learned how to forage and purify water. Cause shit, you gotta.
Caligula did a lot of shit with wax.
Caligula, he was a freak, right, man.
Right. You call him a freak? That motherfucker was sick. He was freak. Ain't even the word.
He was sick. He went to the point where he killing people for entertainment and shit. He was wild.
That dude was a complete degenerate. Erica Veal said Kentucky is the real Egypt. MC Tone said every time I smoke that shit, I see aliens.
That's some good shit.
Erica Veal said, what do they look like? Area 51. That's right, Tiarsha. Yeah, it's Area 51. Erica Veal said they want to keep you in a state of fear. And that's what religion is all about, to divide the people and control the masses. No, because that's funny that you said that, because, man, I swear when I was little, that was like fear that I would wake up. So I would literally go and look in my mama and daddy room and be like,
right. And I thought I was I thought I was sharing some shit for y'all to laugh at, not for us to connect on. So how many more children, after watching that damn movie Left Behind, was terrified? I'm like, okay, my little brother's still in his crib. Cause dog, it got to a point where if I fell asleep before saying my bedtime prayers, I woke up in a cold sweat. Like, oh, if I would have died right now, I would have opened my
Well,
eyes in flames. Like that's some
imagine
terrible shit to tell kids.
imagine me as a little kid being told whatever sin you commit, if you die, you going to hell. So don't lie. And I probably lied probably 90 times that day. So I'm laying down like I'm literally finna go to hell tonight. Like I was a little kid. Like, and so once again, there's a very traumatic effect. And I hear my mother and my father's a preacher, and most of his brothers and sisters were. So when they get together, and these old Southern Baptist people, right? Like, so when they get together, they talk fire and brimstone. Yeah, these people better get right.
Right.
The Lord coming back, and you ain't
Right.
gonna be able to run because the lake gonna be boiling. I'm like, what? The
Mhm.
fuck? The lake gonna be boiling? I was this shit had me shook as a kid, man. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
man. So
And you gotta
yeah,
accept the Lord Jesus as your savior. You're gonna burn forever. And
if you deny the Lord, they're gonna deny. And then in that movie, they have like the militaries walking around and people saying, you know, I ain't no Christian just to get the mark of the beast on their
so
head.
you don't get your head cut off. And
Right.
shit,
And
you
then
know?
when God did come back, it was people who was left here. It was like because they chose to try to get by and get the mark. It's crazy, man. I
Yeah,
thought,
man.
I'm like you. I thought I was the only little kid running around at 2:00 in the morning, scared shitless. Like, oh
Right.
no,
We need to start a support group, man, for
man.
all the kids who were scared of being left
Oh
behind.
man. Have you ever been scared shitless by the rapture?
Right. Type shit.
Call 1-800 oh Lord right now.
Right. You
I'm
can
trying to
tell your
think,
story.
man. Erica Ville, she said you couldn't mention Revelations to me, and the book is about my family. She said it's about her family. I don't know.
Is
Who's
she
your
Jehovah's Witness?
I
Like
don't know.
the
She should have called in
144,000?
and explained that one.
Well, we Erica Ville is a supporter of Outlaw Radio, and we know
Yeah.
Erica Ville goes out there sometimes, y'all. So
She
I don't
should
know.
call in and explain that one.
You're right.
I
I
mean,
don't.
I'm interested. Because I wonder if she like the 144,000. You know, because when you get off into that book and stuff, it got all kind of. I mean, I think it's all, metaphors and allegories now. But it's still interesting. Like, even though I don't subscribe to the beliefs anymore, I always enjoy hearing what other people believe and why.
I just remember that anytime any conversation about that whole situation came up, I'm gone. Right. I ain't finna, even as a little kid, I'm getting up out of here. I don't want to hear
Right.
about this. So yeah, man, they scared us into submission. Let me see. I want people to know out there that if you own your home and you need some relief, because you suffer from something from the pandemic or you need some money for your home, there's $92 million, a $92 million program for homeowners. That article is also in the People's News Network, so you can go and check that out if you want to get down with that. Man, this is crazy.
Man, what about landlords that wasn't getting their rent because of COVID? Like, is it
Yeah, they have some relief. They have some relief for that too. It explains
okay.
how to apply
I'm gonna
for
have
it.
to look into that, man.
Yeah, because a lot of times with the People's News Network, I used to just do straight black news, black premium black news, but a lot of people put their platforms in there. And I allow it to happen because I feel like when we talk about a network, we talk about like our own kind of news where we can get information regarding a bunch of different things. And my perspective is not the only one. So, but I still try to kind of feed raw news in there, so people can stay informed, especially if it's something about the community. It's 9:32, man. I done had too much goddamn fun with y'all talking about Africans and aliens and shit.
Man.
I know we gotta get off of here, man. But I want to thank y'all for coming. We'll be back Wednesday. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna do the Big Black Sports Show. Me and Coach Tank, Larry Purdue, because there's a lot going on in sports as well that I want to talk about. But we'll be back. Kamar, you guys, because we'll be back Wednesdays. You idle between 9 Wednesday. Or you got something else pop?
No, actually, tomorrow I'll be at Alice's Garden. Wednesday, I'll be on 53rd and Capitol at the vocational center. And Thursday I'll be at the Fondy Market. Saturday I'll be at the Sherman Phoenix.
Okay.
Get that money, man.
Okay, yeah, you got to keep that paper coming, right? You got to be able to
Yes,
afford
sir.
all that exotic olive oil and shit you be using over there and shit. All them foreign fruits and vegetables you grow in your garden. No, this is French in origin. It comes from the small island in France. I had to right. Kamar over there living good, man. I'm trying to get over there, man. I'm trying to go over there and just kick it and shit. Like,
Yeah,
man,
man, come on in.
what it's like to be around rich people, right? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Real, what you got coming up, man?
Hey man, just still promoting my book. I've been doing more TikTok content, and that's the shit I like to talk about. Just like from my old Christian backgrounds, just helping people understand. Like my goal ain't to sway anybody out of their beliefs, but I want to help you get a better understanding of your beliefs. Like I think I'm gonna do a video next on witchcraft and how even the word that they use as witchcraft in the Bible is the same word we get pharmacy from, because it's always been a mixing of herbs and shit like that. So just to help people understand, ain't no point walking this walk if you ain't even studied and know what you walking. So I just want to give people a better understanding of their walk if they choose to continue walking it. So that's TikTok, higher frequency, HIGHERFREAKUENCY. And then I got my book, 12 Steps to Becoming Your Own Dope, available on Amazon, as well as my gratitude journal, just to help people get a more positive outlook on life. The multidimensional mindset gratitude journal is also available on Amazon.
Holla at that boy, man. Get his books, man. Support the movement, man. Anybody you see come across this screen, support them, include myself. Hit the goddamn Cash App. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Share the show. Be proud. Don't be sneak listening. Don't be listening and don't want nobody knowing shit. Right. And you'll see a lot of the shit we talk about. We jump on it first, and then I hear the conversation extended because I live in the podverse, right? I keep saying that. And because I know we talked about that Rolling Stone thing, and I watched all weekend. I watched videos on YouTube of content creators talking about the Rolling Stone 200 hip hop songs of all time and our hip hop albums. And so we be on the front of the train with a lot of that stuff. Tiarsha Arthur's in the chat room. She said, "Do you remember the show called Lost?" I sincerely believe that the plane that was headed to another country, that was a plane headed to another country, it went down, and those people are lost somewhere in time on the island because they claim they can't find the plane. And no, I didn't smoke what MC Tone had, Tiarsha said.
Yeah.
So she said,
I
"Is the
never watched the show.
planes
I
disappearing."
I heard it was good, the show, but I never watched it. But yeah, planes go down all the time. They disappear all the time. You know, you never know what happened to them folk.
MC Tone said, "When we gonna talk about pimps and hoes?" Well, I have no expertise in that area, MC Tone, but I'm gonna allow you to come on and so you can elaborate on that subject as you see fit. It's all
You
good.
know what though? I've been watching Pimpin' Ken on a lot of podcasts lately.
Drop it.
He got that hip hop university that he putting people on to teach them how to be different business people. And he was talking about how he's a literary agent. So you know that book I got coming out, 40 Ways to Get $40. I'm really gonna try to get put in his hand, see if he can give me a literary deal. So I mean,
I reached
I
out to
guess
him.
that's about as close to pimping as we can get.
I reached out to him because he's been on here before.
Oh yeah,
Actually, yeah, Pimpin' Kim's been on here before. He's actually a friend, a close friend of one of my relatives, one of my cousins.
oh that's
Um,
dope.
yeah, yeah. So he's a little bit bigger now, but the funny thing is on that show, and I would have to go and dig it up. It may even be back from when I was on Blog Talk. He talked about how now he'd rather be known as Professor Ken. And he
Mm,
talked about how he was moving forward. He was leaving the pimping thing behind and getting more invested in, you know, passing information to people and helping them be aware of things that could help them get over or get up off of their knees.
right.
No pun intended when we talking about pimps. But yeah, so I reached out to him. I know he hella busy because I've seen him on some podcasts too. And one thing about Pimp and Ken that he does do is he does represent Milwaukee
Mm-hmm.
wherever he's on, but he was a little bit more heavy on the east side and big up in east side people and talked about how but it is what it is. You can go see it, but because I ain't off the east side, but I get that. But no, MC Tone, we gonna get you on, man. I want y'all to know nobody on here is trying to tell you what to think. We just want you to think, right? Like, so you don't have to agree with anything we said. But it's really about how you disagree. Like, so if you come in a respectful manner and say, no, I don't agree, here's why, that's fine. But we don't support no unsolicited banging on no solitary outlaw. So you ain't gonna get real far trying to be disrespectful. Like I said, be careful of the people who you fuck with. Don't be of the assumption that you the craziest motherfucker out here. Some of us are crazier. We just found ways to keep control ours and keep it under wraps, but you never know what you can do to get that thing back out here. People say, don't poke the bear. That's real talk. Don't poke the bear, man. In the meantime and in between time, man, I want y'all to be safe, man. I want y'all to really navigate these streets wisely. And like Kamar said, man, give some thought to what you do and try to make the best decisions. A lot of times when you're stressed out, I want people to know the best thing you could do is get fresh air, because fresh air and fresh oxygen improves brain functionality, right? When you mad or you tired or you stressed and your brain ain't getting that much oxygen, you tend to make bad decisions, man. And it ain't no need for that. We don't need no more people, no more of our people being victimized for making bad decisions. That's not to say I wasn't serious when I said if you come at me or do a certain thing, I'm not gonna put all my energy into fucking you up back. It's just saying that I'm just gonna be creative sometimes and strategic in how I do it. Y'all gotta understand, man, most of the things that ail us in this country are economic things, and whether or not you can recognize it or not, the fact that they've kind of kept us away from the money from so long and kept us from really being able to build generational wealth. See, that's the only thing I will say about the white man. If I'm gonna point my fingers, I'm gonna say you motherfuckers intentionally kept shut us out when it came to getting money and having ownership, because you come with a whole stock market and a whole economic system, and you made sure that we were not able to partake in that, and that's why you have the advantage when it comes to acquiring and building wealth. But it's time for that to change. We got to come up with some ways to get some money, man. At the end of the day, that cliche says if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And my mama used to say it best when she would always tell me, the problem with black people, the problem with us is that black people know the price of everything, but niggas don't know the value of shit. And so that's what she used to say was our issue. I will see y'all tomorrow night, and I see you, brothers, my Outlaw family, on Wednesday night, man. Y'all be good, be safe, capital driving
For
action,
sure,
stand
man.
up, positively
Peace.
always. EBA for life, man. I see y'all.